think
the tingles.
Welcome back.
He side punched you
To the Deep Threads podcast. For today, I'm your host, Steve. Our roster topics today include cornerbacks and safeties. We're going to go over the position groups and players we evaluated during the offseason. And, well, wait a minute.
Oh, don't do that.
Adam the Insider, breaking news. We got news coming in. Cut over to him. There.
All right, guys. This is where you put the panel up, by the way. You're ruining this whole sketch.
Come on.
Well, you didn't tell me.
I literally said get the panel ready.
You got the button.
Actually,
you
I
didn't
really
tell me
liked it.
this
I
was
liked
for
it.
the
There you go.
section.
All right,
That's well
so
done.
rumors today. You have Bud Dupree signed to the Falcons for $5 million. I don't know if that's a rumor. I think that's actually news.
What?
Yes, that's actual news.
Sorry.
This is breaking news?
That's breaking news. Yeah,
No, we did this.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
No, this came out yesterday. What else do you have?
Okay.
We stopped the show for this.
Also,
Adam the Insider, we stopped the show for this. What else you got?
All right, Buda Baker, currently signed to the Cardinals, has requested a trade.
Buddy.
Fuck me.
No, this is late. All right? We heard this yesterday.
What? I just got this.
Buddy.
Okay, I got some more. I got some more for you. I got some more for you.
All right, we need some redeeming.
All right,
Everybody in chat, help him out here, all right? He's
All right, a source close to a team of the New York Giants is saying Saquon will not sign a tag until after mini camps.
Adam.
Fuck me.
That's not that we talked about this Wednesday on the show. We covered
Hold on,
this.
let me check
3
my.
days ago.
Do you think
just let me check my. Just give me a second. Let me check my sources. All right. All right.
I personally do. We're gonna see what's going on.
Odell got signed to the Ravens for $18 million. That one's old, right? That one's old.
That one's old. Okay.
That one's old. Okay.
We're on board with that one.
Rumors. I got rumors for you. This one just came in today for me. I got a phone call.
All right.
This
brand new.
one might be real. Coming from inside the Carolina Panthers front office,
Yeah.
there is nobody that they see beating out Bryce Young for their number 1 overall pick. That's
Okay.
from inside Carolina's front office.
Now, to my knowledge, that's actually a rumor.
Yeah. I finally got something.
I think that's an actual rumor.
I got one more. I think
I got Ryan. Do you hear that in chat?
I got one more that might break it off the top.
Okay.
I think this one's real.
All right, you brought it home.
Aaron Rodgers possibly going to San Francisco.
Oh,
Fuck me.
Now we knew that is
Wrong.
That was debunked weeks ago when he was golfing.
You know what? I'm done with this shit.
All right.
What's the whole point of being the insider in the NFL if I'm the only one that knows anything?
All right, we're cutting out of news. All right, bring it back to me.
This is ridiculous.
All right, no, there you go. Thank you. All right. Anyway, that was Adam the Insider, everybody. He works really hard to get us up-to-date news. Lightning quick.
Tries really hard. Did you not just see it? What do you mean? He tries.
He works very hard. He's very good at his job. We appreciate him. All right, coming back. As always, though, behind the cameras, we have the hardest working microphone in the business, Johnny G.
What up, everybody?
Love that shit. And as our lovable and outlandish distant cousin, Wheeler. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys?
There we go. And last but not least, the man who brought all this together, KJ.
Hey, guys. Welcome to the show.
There we go. Love it. Love it. Oh, my God. That was good. You know what? That was a good time. I appreciate that, guys.
Ryan, what did I just watch?
You watched a very impromptu skit, and I hope you enjoyed it.
We could have made it better if Johnny wouldn't have screwed up cams.
Oh
but
my
You
God.
didn't
know
tell
what?
me that was the purpose.
it's all right. It's still cuttable.
You know why that came off a little weird? Because Johnny punched my butthole with the intro, and he took me by surprise. I couldn't. He caught me staring at the camera for 3 seconds.
You did sit there for a minute.
I did. I had to. All right. And do we have actual news?
Well, there was news there. I mean, there was some news in there that was real.
There was some news.
I mean, I think Adam did a pretty good job. I don't think he was.
Adam the Insider did a pretty
I don't
good
think
job.
he had everything was 100% wrong. I think the Bud Dupree thing was since our last show. That's probably something new.
That was something new.
The Buda Baker. That's also something new
That
since
was
our last
last
show.
night, yeah.
That happened last night. The Aaron Rodgers things you guys were talking about was actually debunked. What was that?
That was weeks ago.
That was it weeks ago?
Weeks. I think that was actually closer. Yeah.
I didn't have
actually think Aaron Rodgers was like a month or and change ago.
It was close to a month about the.
That was before my hiatus.
Okay, so which we all weren't fans of that. The other thing that I think
Fat guy in a little coat.
the other guy I think that that I talked about. The other thing I talked about was the Saquon thing. I thought that was kind of ironic that Adam talked about that, because me and Ryan talked about that on the phone the other day about how a lot of guys don't sign their contracts before mini camps.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah,
I actually didn't know that.
because they don't want to go to mini camps,
Well, no.
so they don't care. Like,
But the. I'm sorry,
So-
Chris Farley just breaks me, guys. I'm so sorry. I just absolutely
I watched
ruined your
Tommy
eardrums.
Boy Wednesday night when I went home.
That's,
And laughed my ass off.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
but I think that was it in the news.
No.
Oh yeah, you had some other thing. Well, outside of the Commanders selling the sex facility that they own.
Oh shit.
No. So
That's that's a hefty.
Gerald McCoy announced his retirement.
Oh.
Former 6-time Pro Bowler for the Buccaneers. He was the 3rd overall pick in the 2010.
You know what that says to me?
God damn.
Run!
Yeah.
They're gonna screw this team up, and Baker's here. Run!
Well, he's jumping ship.
He was on Carolina, I thought.
No.
Dallas, I think,
Yeah,
was
okay,
originally.
my bad.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, the Baker's on the team. He's retiring.
Yeah.
What the hell is what's the linebacker's name that wanted out? Devin White. Devin White
Yeah.
requested a trade.
Yeah.
He's 25, wants $18 to $20 million a year. Actually, you know what's funny is I
What?
saw that you retweeted. He wants $18 to $20 million a year. Dude's been a Pro Bowler
3K, so-
one flipping time.
Well, he's only been in the league for 4 years.
Sounds like something Cleveland
But you
would do.
don't demand $18 to $20 million with one Pro Bowl season that is fan voted.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a player that the Browns would want.
It's
a waste of money.
I would take
insider
him, but I'm
voted.
not, I'm not signing him
It's
with that.
insider voted.
He'll go to Dallas. So they can't afford him. And they got to get rid of somebody.
Yeah, no, I look at that and I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, dude. So even KJ retweeted. He's like, yeah, these guys got to get a hold of themselves because that's
Wow.
stupid money.
Since an injured Odell with no ACL got paid.
I mean,
Right.
$18
Speaking of-
million.
Brand,
Odell.
Oh, jeez, breaking news! Adam the Insider. What the hell, man?
Odell apparently played without an ACL
But that was old news.
all of last year.
That is.
But that wasn't.
And the Rams knew about it and somehow hit it.
You know what's funny is Ryan's listening, and we're about to drag this dude all over again.
I'm not dragging him. I just
the
think
Ravens. They also,
He just was going to play through it at that point once he found out halfway through this
Yeah,
season.
play
So,
through it.
Well, then why did he go down?
cortisone shots.
In the Super Bowl is when he went down.
Maybe it
Yeah,
was his other
which
knee.
you know what's funny is that makes it even worse. You went down in a blaze of glory for cameras, and then you gloated about
Well,
it.
that's what it sounds like.
He needs
Right.
a tampon.
But I will.
You're-
But in Brandon's eyes, he scored a
Well, hold
touchdown
on,
in the
hold on,
Super
hold
Bowl,
on.
so he's a relevant player.
Well, he had like 70 yards and a touchdown on 3 catches. That was a very good stat line for a guy that only played 2 quarters.
with one knee.
But keep in mind, here's the question though: when he tore up his knee, did he tear any other ligaments after that?
Yeah, I think it was just his ACL. That's why he was able to function.
Yeah.
If it would have been his MCL too, I don't think he would have been able to walk.
Well,
But
but
he
then
had no
again,
ACL.
I was just gonna say, but he had no ACL. So
I know.
How did he
would
tear
that-
up what he didn't have?
Right.
Well, that's why like you have to look at it. Did he actually not have an ACL? It's just garbage story.
Fake news.
Can you actually? That would be a fun fake news.
How dare you research this?
I mean, like, so realistically,
Just take the gratitude and move on.
How many-
How I want to
how-
see how you can play.
how
that
many
type
how
of
many guys
sport.
play with no ACL?
Grifters.
What?
Oh.
Only grifters play with no ACL.
ACL. I said ACL.
What's
Yeah,
a grifter?
only grifter. That's someone who just wants the fame and attention.
So Odell.
You know what?
He wants the limelight.
I
Anyways,
bet you any money he's trying to Steve Eiserman this shit.
the last thing I have in the news.
Eiserman played with no cartilage and 2 knees his entire career, but he still played.
But Eisman was a freaking beast.
I guess.
There's a different
Sorry, I
level
went to
there.
hockey on you
Hold
guys. I apologize.
everybody in chat. So if this guy can play with no ACL, then why is it such a detrimental injury to every other single player
You can't
in the
play with no
NFL?
ACL.
That's why. So like, I guess my opinion. Get in chat. Is this a big deal or not?
It's your anterior crucial ligament.
Do you believe that he didn't play or that he played with no ACL or not?
No,
I believe he
don't-
probably
I don't-
played with a partial tear.
I
Yeah,
think he did. You
partial
can play with a
tear.
partial tear.
or a patch job on it.
Well, that's
Like
what
you
he.
go
That's
in
what he.
and clean
claimed.
it up.
That's
why he's saying that it's.
He accused
route.
Cleveland of putting a
Right.
patch job on it.
Yeah, which
You had you okay?
you,
Yeah, drag
I
Cleveland.
want to
because
hear
you're a
everybody in
piece of
chat.
shit.
I want to hear. Is
No.
built dog. God,
yeah.
so he knows how to get me.
Anyways,
Built different.
Fucking guy.
Yeah, he's soft like a Nerf bullet.
the last thing I have.
I like this Peter Griffin.
The
by
last
way.
thing I have.
Jimmy, did you watch the intro? Let us know. I want to know if you like that segment.
Oh, Jimmy, I hope you saw that intro.
But he built different is pretty funny. Yeah, he's built without ACL. So why is
Yeah, I
he
mean-
comparing about not having
He's
one?
built back better.
Yeah, he was built back better without an ACL.
He is black. They have extra ligaments. So maybe
Jesus
I don't know. As a
Christ.
white guy, I don't know.
Oh man.
Fuck me.
I'm just saying. There's
And on to the next.
there's actual science proving they have an
think
extra
that-
ligament
I
in their
think that
calf.
button beats the algorithm, so we're not going to get that.
Yeah.
First 15 minutes.
We've already sworn and stuff. So.
Oh,
well.
Anyways,
it was Peter Griffin.
we forgot to announce it on Wednesday that YouTube unveiled its pricing for the Sunday ticket.
Oh yeah, we did miss that.
They did this before Wednesday. Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
well we missed it to talk about Wednesday.
Because people were harassing him online about how they're asking for.
So
They
it's
put up the Joe Biden meme where he couldn't say numbers.
Oh.
That was YouTube's contract.
So it was
shit.
$349 per person,
Is
or
that-
per season rather, and $389 bundled with Red Zone for YouTube TV subscribers. Non-YouTube TV subscribers, that's $449 a person or $480 or per season. Geez, or $489 bundled with Red Zone.
Can you tell me how many devices, or do you not know that? Or are you just going based off the tweet?
I'm just going based off of the tweet. I haven't heard anything else other than this right
Are you
now.
sure that's the pricing?
Yeah.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
Oh wow, that's
It's
impressive.
cheaper than
They just want.
Is it still cheaper?
it's cheaper than
Yeah, they just
Sunday
want that
ticket.
straight cash on
Sunday ticket was $400 if you had DirecTV,
That's insane. Though.
and it was
Right.
$300
To have
if you.
issues.
Well,
every
hold
week,
on,
too.
hold on.
Yeah.
No, it was that's without Red Zone. So it was $400 for Sunday ticket if you wanted the stat tracker. So like how they have like you could put in your players, it'll fantasy stat
Right.
track
That's
on the
pretty cool.
screen and notifications, and then it was $300 if you just wanted the games. So like when you think of YouTube TV, so that's the question I asked, which is the one that matters, is how many devices can I log into? Because that's the one that matters.
I like Red Zone honestly.
Well, so in
Yeah.
your case,
I think
KJ.
Bo like Red Zone too.
No,
Yes.
it's for anybody that owns Sunday Ticket had multiple TVs.
No, in your case, KJ, as long as you don't have to log in every week, then you're okay. Because in KJ's case, he literally had to make a new password every week.
They still are doing that.
Yes.
AT&T, if you try to log with their service, they have you reset your password every freaking time. I don't understand it.
AT&T, fix your shit.
No.
All right.
Anyways, that's all I have for the news today.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Well, then let's get. Oh,
Is that the outro for the news?
it's just I just used it. for
Welcome
both.
back.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. You guys just want to get right into DBs? Let's get after it.
Let's get after some safeties or DBs. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean-
We are merging safeties and
Oh,
cornerbacks
yeah. I got to go through my stuff and actually figure out which
since that's what they're called in the NFL draft nowadays.
dub is.
Well, they've always been classified as DBs.
AKA Deebs.
Well, Steve changed his ranking, so I'd have him for him.
Yeah, I changed my rankings, so nobody knows.
but-
Nobody knows what they are.
But if you
I
want,
didn't
are you
know
going to
what
jump
it
into
was.
safeties first, Steve?
Yeah, we can. I didn't actually separate them. I
So
combined them.
let's
'cause
just
they
go over to
DBs.
utilization, just the first one overall, right? Brian Branch.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty easily for me. I
Oh,
think
for safeties?
Yeah.
I think in my opinion for safeties he is day one pro ready, going to make an impact because he has great awareness, he has a flexible lower body core, he's able to track the ball, he has very flexible hips to get up and around to see where the ball's coming from, and he makes contact with the player or with the ball at all times, and he doesn't get called for many flags. He's a very smart player throughout, and he can play all over the field, and he makes an
You got
impact
that card,
in
John?
the secondary.
No.
I
You don't have
think
Brian Branch's card?
I think he's
No,
a top.
that's-
I
that's me.
personally think this kid's a top 15 pick.
I actually have
You think
it.
Brian Branch is a top 15
Yeah,
pick?
he's top of his class for tackling as a safety too.
Thank you, Johnny, for doing the screen check.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, so
And
you like
the
you
dude's
like,
drive
There's
is
Brian
insane.
Branch
I mean,
right there for you.
Oh, all right.
The
There you
dude's
go.
drive
Save
is
screen share.
insane. I know, again, Alabama guy. Everybody hypes these guys up, but you know how much I hate just basing guys per school. But this guy, the film I watched on him, he's a beast. And so going on off of saying he's a beast is he just doesn't quit. He's always finding ways to improve his play and improve to helping his team all over.
You like
And-
this dude that much?
Yeah.
Okay. KJ, do you have anything to add to that?
Brian Branch is hands down probably the best defensive back coming out of this draft, depending on what your utilization is going to be.
Okay.
Because we talked about this the other day, how he's a great in the box kind of guy. My only issue with Brian Branch is he doesn't take risk. He's more conservative with what he does. But when it comes to when you're talking man-to-man kind of guys, like if you need him to play in any type of position where you need him to be right on that guy's hip, I think he's capable of doing it with the best of them right now.
Okay, so all right, he's your one safety. Where is he at in your total DB rankings? Did you separate him out?
Yeah, I separated them.
Okay.
So he would technically be 2 if we were doing all up
2.
all
You
together.
have Gonzalez and then Branch.
Yeah, I do.
That's insane.
I love Brian Branch because which he doesn't like him taking risks. I like him, or which he doesn't. Yeah, which he doesn't like him taking
I'd put him
risks.
in
I
like-
like him not taking risks because
I guess maybe
I don't
I'm
like
just
my
not-
safeties coming
Am I-
up because the problem is if they take a risk and they get beat, then it's just open field touchdown, and I don't want that. I understand, you got to take a risk sometimes, but if you have other guys on the field that are willing to do that, and you have a guy who's going to be your anchor in that secondary, I like that, and I think that's the team that's going to draft him.
Well, the problem with getting a guy in the top 15 is just an anchor and not a playmaker. That's the problem.
He's a playmaker to a point.
Well, he's not. That's exactly what he's not.
I would have to disagree.
He's not a
Brian Branch is
playmaker. He's a
too
guy who's phenomenal in coverage. He's a guy who's great at passes deflected. But when it comes to making the big play, he's not that guy.
But you're just saying
You're not that guy,
You're
pal.
just saying that because of risk, though. Just because you don't take
That's
risk,
right.
don't mean you're not a playmaker.
That's
I mean,
you're just not
correct.
flashy. You're not flashy.
Right, but
but
those guys go under the radar all the time.
So you like Branch? That I can't.
But
I guess
he's going to produce. I mean, he's
did
gonna,
he will produce.
Did you watch Antonio Johnson?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And you didn't like Antonio Johnson.
It's close, man. Like I said. It's
So
close. If I have to
where
rank
would
it,
Antonio Johnson be? Like roughly?
4, technically,
Gosh,
in DB
dang.
rankings. If that's
Maybe-
just,
I guess
'cause I split them up. But if we're,
maybe I'm a piece of shit for this one, but like
I like.
Brian Branch is like 12 for me, and
get-
Antonio
so-
Johnson's like
so
5.
what
I
did
like
you-
Antonio Johnson.
So what didn't you like about him?
So here,
Since you have him 12, that's
and I
obviously a lot
actually
lower than all
have
of
Jordan
us.
Battle above Brian Branch when it comes
I
to safeties.
hated Battle.
I guess I think that's what's going to get me off, right? Is I like
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa!
Fuck me.
So our consensus ranking prior to you switching your rankings
Yeah.
was Brian Branch, Antonio Johnson, and then Jartavius Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even watch him.
What?
And then Sidney Brown, then Jordan Battle.
Yeah, so I'll have to
those
watch
were our
that.
top 5
Jartavius,
safeties.
bro?
Yeah, I watched and then watching a bunch of corners. So Brian Branch, right? So I gave him a bunch of props because I think he's a fantastic tackler. Overall, he's a great
I mean, that's
tackler.
that's one of his best things. But
which,
again,
if I'm looking for a safety, that's what I want.
well, and riskiness, right? That was my argument about being risky, risk averted. Just not.
You know what's funny is I think he gets fooled in play action. That's what I watched. He's very susceptible to that. And his block shedding in open field is bad.
He's not good against the run.
He is good against the run when he plays in the box. He cannot shed blocks in open field.
Right.
So like if he's caught,
One-on-one
yes,
situations is not a good.
not great. But if he's coming forward, he's okay.
Oh, Brian Branch.
I think yes, and I think that when he goes when his number's called to blitz, he lollygags.
I don't disagree with this, but I think that's why he's a safety.
That's what
I
not a
think
corner.
He's a liability in man coverage when he comes up and he plays like slot.
Right.
Right. So like instead of bringing in an actual corner, like they leave him on because they know he's a great tackler.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he plays in the box really well though.
What is
Savage in the box.
Jimmy?
he
Jimmy,
plays
I
very
completely
well in the
agree
back.
with your statement because that's why you're a safety and not a corner.
Because
Because,
corners. I mean, most corners suck at block shedding too because they're smaller in size. Typically.
Anybody that can block shed is usually a
There's not
linebacker.
one of this coming out. There's like 3 coming out of this draft that are pretty big corners.
Pretty big, like size. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Jordan Battle. I have Battle right above Branch, and now that I look at it,
To me, that's kind of
that's-
crazy. And the reason why I
Yeah.
think
And
that's
I have
crazy,
Antonio Johnson way above
is-
both of them.
That's fine. I mean, but like you have both those guys out of your top 10 DBs. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah, respectively, they are Battle is 10 and Branch is 11.
I mean, that's all right. Well, who do you? See. Okay. Well, how about this? Because we have the consensus ranking. Johnny already put it up. Why do you have Battle as your number 1 safety?
Battle's not. Antonio Johnson's my number
Okay.
one.
Why do you have Antonio Johnson as your number 1?
So
Because we both have him as 2, right? You have Antonio Johnson as 2 safety?
Yeah, and you
Okay.
said it was close for you.
Yeah.
So, like, what I enjoyed is he was everywhere. This dude played everywhere. He was fluid enough to play safety, corner,
monster.
and edge. The dude played edge, too.
Who is this again?
Antonio
Antonio Johnson.
Johnson.
He's 6'1", 198.
Texas A&M, I believe.
4'5", 240. He plays up on the line like a corner. He plays outside the DN and rushes, or he can drop out like an edge. I mean, he's a versatile player all around. He can play in the box like a linebacker. The thing that I didn't like, right? He goes for a big hit and he forgets form tackling at times. He can do both. But he's trying to showboat. He's trying to get that big play, that viral
Ooh, I
hit.
like
The dude's
that.
6'2", almost 200 pounds.
And what I didn't like is he has a bad supporting cast on the
That's
defense.
smart,
Defense was
Johnny.
bad.
Yeah.
What?
That's smart.
So
What?
You took the camera off of me when I asked you that. Like, that's smart on that screen share. Sorry.
Wait, is that bad? Wait,
Well, no, I wanted him to do that because I'm trying to
he
reach
can
him.
play.
and he can run in man and cover. Like he hits hard. Like he's the guy I wanted safety. That's why I liked him more. I did not see that in Branch when I thought I was going to because of how much he's been touted.
I think that's because of Antonio Johnson's utilization. Like you said, he can play.
I think
anywhere
because the
almost.
defense
Because
was so
cornerback, safety.
was so bad, they had to utilize him. But he showed up when he did.
But the fact that you can use him as a corner or as safety, again, that's value.
Yeah.
Because
Did
you
you-
can put him here or there. It just depends on, do you want to play him in the box? Do you want to play him as a nickel corner? It just depends where you want to play him.
Yeah, and to me, he showed up in everywhere. On a
And
bad
I think he plays his best when he plays in the box.
Johnson.
Yeah, I think he plays his best when he plays at the box.
I would say
Because
that
he's another guy who can just tackle,
when he's able to
create contact.
see in the backfield and like hunt.
Yeah.
He's very good. He's deadly, and I like that. I like that a lot. KJ, did you see anything different in Antonio Johnson?
No, my thing with Antonio Johnson was the fact that he is really good in like off the hips. Like he's quick out of his like cuts. So he can actually he'll look one way and can go the other way if he needs to.
Okay.
He's
Fluid hips.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Okay.
faster at the hips, and I think Brian Branch was. Both the guys are fast.
Jimmy,
Both guys are fast.
Yeah,
it
both.
depends.
All
He's gonna
three
put
of their
on
game
weight.
speeds are faster than their 40s, in my opinion.
So it's one of the, and then it's one of those situations. I actually would probably agree with you where Antonio Johnson is probably better at reading the ball. But at the same point, like I just think Brian Branch is a little more. It's one of those. It's that argument to where like Brian Branch himself is cleaner all around, whereas Antonio Johnson is probably a little more risky. So like that's why when it comes to a safety, I'll take a riskier safety over a non-risky safety because I expect my corners to do their job.
You know what's funny? Okay, so you say that, right? And I actually understand, and I think the way I evaluated him and everybody that I have looked at so far is I value versatility. So when I see that you can play different positions and excel, I grade you higher.
Right, but if I'm drafting Brian Branch, I'm drafting him as a safety. I'm not drafting him. He's the number one safety. Right, so your thought process with Antonio Johnson is that Antonio Johnson can be capable of playing a corner.
You know who Brian Branch kind of reminds me of? Who's that corner or that safety we
Well,
have?
didn't Ryan just say Derwin James the other day?
Yeah, that's not Derwin James. Harrison. Who was the safety we just had that we
Was it
traded?
Ronnie Harrison?
Yeah, he
Ronnie-
reminds me of
the
Ronnie
Jags,
Harrison a little
when
bit.
He played, from the Jags, yeah.
He can hit hard. He plays in the box really well. That's Brian Branch to me. He
doesn't-
sucks in coverage. He's gonna give up deep balls, but if he's on rundowns, he'll play in your box. And that's what I. That's
Whoa! Play in your box
See, here's the
there.
thing, Jimmy. I
This
agree
guy.
with what you're saying about a guy that's under 200 pounds isn't going to play in the box in the NFL.
You would be surprised
But
how many dudes are
in
under
today's
200 pounds.
NFL, like I don't know if it's just the way workouts have done things to these kids coming into the NFL, but ligaments are stronger and lankier than they used to be.
Yeah. that's-
So like guys are coming in the NFL that are playing very strong to where they were back in the day. Whereas if you saw a guy at 170, 180, you're like, that dude's a featherweight. Like he's going to struggle in the NFL. Nowadays, a lot of these guys coming in the NFL, man, that 180 plays like 200, plays like 195.
Yep.
So, but
It's crazy seeing these guys' weights.
But
'cause
you-
I agreed with you, Jimmy, up until
But
I
you
actually watched.
also have to understand, and Ryan brings this up all the time, and because Ryan's on the show, I'm going to say it today. It's one of those things that Ryan, if he was here, he'd say this. The NFL works in cycles, And what happens is guys go and get big wide receivers. So what they do is go get big cornerbacks. So, okay, well then these teams go to smaller wide receivers because bigger cornerbacks can't cover the quick, shifty wide receivers. So then teams go, okay, we're going to get quick and shifty cornerbacks. So then it goes cyclical. Yeah. So, and that's what Ryan was saying to me on the phone the other day. And I agree with what he's saying is you're always wanting to be one step ahead.
I think he actually put.
And in order to do that, you have to make sure you have the players to play for those positions. So, like, if you are going to go get a guy that can play at corner at 195, is going up against a Tyreek Hill. Like, who cares? Like, Tyreek Hill's not chesting anybody off that line.
No, but
you're looking about that speed. He's going to cut you up and get you downfield.
Yeah.
But when you have like a Megatron, a Devontae Adams,
the Calvin Johnsons, the DK Metcalfs, like those big guys, you're going to need.
Calvin was a phenomenal route runner too.
Right.
Calvin was he was
like
a tank.
T. Higgins. T. Higgins can run routes, but he does not separate
10.
well. So like he can fight through.
He's a contested catcher.
Yes.
So you guys are going to call me crazy, but
Why?
Calvin Johnson reminds me of T. Higgins and Tyreek Hill.
The other way around.
Separation.
Oh, you're saying Calvin Johnson is Tyreek and T
Higgins
together.
morphs because he creates separation. He's got the speed.
You know what's funny? I think you're backwards. I think Calvin Johnson had 2 kids, and he only gave one talent to one kid and one talent to the other kid.
Calvin Johnson ran a 4.440.
Gosh.
Yeah, no, Calvin Johnson. Like, remember we were bringing you back to that ESPN show where they did all those measurables.
Holy
they did those tests,
Santa
and I
Claus
told you Des
shit.
Bryant has the quickest reaction time in the NFL.
Yeah.
They did that same thing with Calvin Johnson, and the fact that his reach was the size of a 2-car garage.
Oh my Lord.
Holy
So he'd
crap.
stand in the center of a 2-car
That's
garage,
a whole
and his reach was the size of a 2-car garage.
That's insane.
Like no one,
His catch radius
was
just
absurd. It was absurd.
It was a third of the football.
I mean, have you seen a guy like Calvin Johnson come out those?
No. Well, so
honestly.
DK was probably the closest thing to that, but he can't run routes, right? So, like,
That's the size thing and the speed thing, though. He does not have. I don't think DK has
He doesn't
nearly
have
as
that
much.
extra ligament.
But what was the back to Antonio Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Like your argument for Antonio Johnson is that he's more versatile. He can play other parts of the
He
field.
can play
whereas
other parts of the
Brian
field
Branch,
successfully.
To you is more of a strong safety, right?
Brian
Yes,
Branch is a
Brian-
box safety.
What's a box safety? That's not a position.
Ronnie Harrison. You're a run
Is it
support
strong
safety.
safety or free safety?
That's strong safety.
Strong
He
safety.
cannot play.
Well, I'm just saying.
He's not going to play in
I'm
coverage.
not just throwing out random terms like box safety.
Well, box safety. I don't think box safety is a random term.
It's a safety that can play in a box.
Oh, you know what I mean when I say. Well, okay, maybe the fans don't. So when
That's my argument.
So when I mean box safety, it is almost exclusively a player that can only play within the box on the line of scrimmage for the defense, right? So that includes the linemen and the linebackers. So they would play on the same plane as the linebackers. And I say that because he does not excel or play well at all in coverage. He is efficient and violent in the run game.
Right.
And that's where he's going to be utilized. That's why I compared him to Ronnie Harrison because
Brian Branch.
Yes, Brian Branch.
Just making sure we stay on the same
Yeah.
page. You're good. All right. What else you got there? I mean, what do we?
I got nothing for Johnson. I mean, like I don't like that he gets lazy with tackling sometimes. You know, like he goes for the big hit and he X-nays the form tackling when he can do both if he just believed in himself a little bit. I think he has that level of talent, in my opinion.
Is there anything we didn't like about him?
Yeah, that was that.
Besides the tackling?
I mean, he had a bad supporting cast. The defense around him was bad.
Yeah, I mean,
But I can't really knock him.
I think he was the captain of that defense, and he put it on their.
He is the captain of the ship now?
Yeah.
He's the captain of the ship now.
Oh my!
Right.
I am the captain.
You should have put that
I am
up.
the
John should have put that picture up.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny.
I need
Anyway,
to get that in here.
Okay, so you just want to continue with safeties? We'll do
Yeah,
safeties first.
Let's get to those
All right,
five. Let's get
who's,
through those 5 guys.
Who's your
Jartavius-
second?
Oh, second is Antonio.
You have Antonio Johnson as your
Third is
second.
Jartavius.
We all have Antonio Johnson as our second. You have him as your first.
Okay.
So.
All right. So then third. Go to your third guy, Jartavius Martin.
Jartavius Martin.
I did not watch him, so please.
So,
Yeah, this one's on you because I think Ryan also had Jartavius in that
So
area.
I
could
have
be
him
wrong.
as the second best tackler in this class with violent hands and speed. He's able to get up after the ball, contested catches, has great man coverage, and can play zone, but needs to polish up his zone coverage, in my opinion.
Okay.
Has good run defense, but I really don't care about that. The safety, you're playing zone, you're playing out.
When you say violent hands, what does that mean?
He constantly deflects the ball. Just always going up after the ball to make contact with it.
So I would say
he doesn't get called many.
So aggressive
flags.
hands.
Yeah,
So probably aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Violent to me I'm thinking penalty.
What's his size? Do you have his intangibles real quick?
His size.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if anybody had that. I do not. I asked because if you're going to say that he's really good in man coverage,
5'11", 194.
So he's
okay. So he's
a prototypical.
He's actually a corner size, which is funny.
But that's what I'm saying. So he has good transition from playing press zone coverage. If the
do you think maybe he'll have an opportunity for like slot corner duties?
On the right team, yeah.
See, no.
But the problem with that
because
is
he's not even a top 10 corner in this draft.
Really?
Safety.
Yeah.
I
his
asked specifically.
Oh, you're saying as
I asked specifically
I said on
for
the
this.
correct team.
Yeah.
Well,
But I'm not going to draft a guy to go be out of position.
Well, but
we have this argument all the time.
But I'm saying is if you draft him as safety and one of your corners get hurt, you can play him as a corner.
No,
You
I'm going
can
to my
say
depth
that with
chart.
everyone. as long as
I
it's the perfect
ask
team.
because if he is that
Yes, right.
good,
Aggressive in coverage. Thank you.
if he is that good in man coverage, right? Because you can still outshine corners. So if you are better than some of these top corners, and you happen to play safety, but you can do this,
He's a free safety.
So
He's a free safety.
he's a free safety.
He is the free
Interesting.
safety
So-
because Brian Branch was
So
the
he'll
strong
typically
safety.
be deep on
He's
you.
a-
Or not Brian Branch.
Sidney Brown.
Sidney Brown was
Brown.
the strong safety.
That's right. That's why I said he's a free safety.
Right, and I personally have Sidney Brown in this spot at 3.
Okay.
Because I think
Mine's
the only
flipped.
reason Jartavius Martin looked as good as he did, it was one, he played on the team for 5 years. Okay.
So he's experienced
And
and,
then-
he's
I
older.
understand that.
And then 2, Sidney Brown looked very good this year and had better stats.
Okay.
I think they played well off each other. It's
100%. They're
It's hard to
complementary.
decipher who is the better guy.
They're complementary. I agree.
Exactly. I mean, it's you're splitting hairs.
But that could
But
be.
I don't disagree with you that Sidney Brown outshined him just a little bit.
Where do you think he's going to get drafted? What round?
Second round.
Okay.
I have him the
Okay.
second
Who?
round.
Jartavius Martin.
Jartavius. As a
Fourth.
safety.
Fourth.
Third,
Really?
fourth round.
Chipotle
You don't.
bet?
You don't.
Late third. Late third.
Chipotle bet. You hear it
Chipotle
here.
bet?
You're not going to be
Ryan.
here. You're not going to be here.
Is that breaking news?
Oh, he's
You're not
He'll
going to
in
be
the second
here.
round, don't worry.
breaking news. Adam the
He's
Insider.
going to get drafted the same. He'll be drafted in the second round, just like Hendon Hooker,
Oh,
Xavier
I might have to do
Hutchinson,
that day.
and
No.
What?
No,
Jartavius Martin.
they're actually saying that
up.
Hendon Hooker will be a late first.
I was saying that for a while. and Everybody called me crazy.
Yeah, I might actually wear a polo.
I could see somebody
I might actually
going
look a
straight
little
back in to
professional.
go get him.
I
for the
have
fifth
one
year.
on.
Give a polo.
So,
Yeah, you do.
what didn't you like about Jartavius?
Apparently everything.
Hips. He's
Oh.
really bad hips.
But if
he
if
is
he's
not a shifty kind of guy.
But if he's good in coverage,
That-
now do you
His
disagree?
brains are better than his athleticism, but again, that has to do with playing in a
So,
team for 5
So
years.
experience and higher football IQ. So
Yes.
if you've seen something more, you're going to understand something more.
Like he's
That's
what
what
John
he's
Johnson
building.
had mentally. I'm not comparing his athletics.
He's Farmers Insurance.
He is why the Browns went and got John Johnson, because John Johnson showed that he could do the job because of his experience on a roster. So then we brought him over for his experience to help train Delpit, right? That was the whole purpose.
That worked out real well.
It did work out well. The problem is
Grant
Delpit's just
Delpit's-
never healthy.
Grant Delpit's going to be
But
better than
Delpit
John
is hands down better.
He's off the team,
I
isn't he?
Where did
love
Delpit
Grant
get
Delpit.
drafted?
Second round.
No, he was a first round.
He was-
pick.
that's right. They drafted him.
He was a late first.
He had his ACL.
LSU.
He didn't play his entire rookie
And
season because
I think he was
Wonderful secondary.
I think he was the
LSU
first
that's always
safety taken
injured.
out of that draft. I could be wrong.
I think so. He was the year after
He's not
they
even on the
drafted
team
Greedy.
anymore, is he?
Grant's on the team.
What are you
John
talking-
Johnson
You're
is
talking
not.
Greedy Williams.
Greedy, thank you.
Greedy's gone. John Johnson's gone.
Yeah, Greedy went to the Eagles.
Yeah. What does that tell you?
That's what
Shit.
that's what I feel about Jartavius. Sidney Brown to me is the better guy, better tackler.
Okay.
He is a lot quicker when it comes to being in coverage. He also reads the play better. So I would take Sidney Brown over Jartavius, hands down. Do I think, like you said, Jartavius could work in the correct system? Yes, and I think he could work flawlessly because he's got the smarts.
Yes.
Now, do you
I
think
don't disagree with you.
if he came to a team like, let's just say Cleveland, because that's what we all know, right? So
Let's use a different team for Cleveland. We use Cleveland a lot.
Well, but
we
'cause that's
do
what
have
we
to
know.
get better, but we have to get better at that. And I
That's
agree
fine.
with you. We do got to get a little better with that than our knowledge outside
Yeah.
of Cleveland. So like when you're looking at other safeties, who else would you
Well,
you
let's say
compare
the
to?
Ravens. Same
We do need
division.
to get better at
Let's
that.
say the
Right.
Ravens.
We got to know other
Well, the
teams
Ravens
better.
secondary isn't good.
But they
That's what
were.
I'm saying. They were. Would he fit if they were to draft a Clark Phillips or Christian Gonzalez if they were to trade up?
I mean, so who are their corners right now? You got Marlon Humphrey, who is dog shit.
Let's say, Ryan, would you like him on your team?
What was your argument? What were you going to say? Because you were going to compare him to the Browns
Sorry.
for some reason.
No,
What was your
I just
reasoning?
wanted to
What was
see
your
like
reasoning?
where would he fit in with the current roster?
Yeah.
Where does he start?
Sidney Brown.
No,
You probably would
I was
have
going to
to-
go back to
Jartavius Martin?
because I wanted to see because he's saying in the way he's describing him.
I like him.
And,
I don't think he fits on the
and
Browns.
his intangibles, his weight and his height.
he would have to play as strong.
He's a heavier corner.
He says Ravens are set. They need a corner.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Raven.
Well, you got Humphrey.
You guys need a
and-
backup safety.
and
You
I-
need a
never
backup
have
safety.
too many secondaries.
But they just drafted that kid last year, their one safety,
Oh,
and then they let their
yeah.
other safety go. They need
Oh
a
yeah,
backup.
the kid out of Notre Dame who was
Yeah.
the top safety in the NFL, I think.
Yeah.
So at least according to PFF, I think. So I mean, that's pretty flipping good. Marcus Williams and Hamilton. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton. He's an animal. Yeah, when they drafted him, I was very upset because I know he's gonna be a good player.
I had him over Sauce and people.
They need a third guy, Jimmy. I agree that with the injuries they have in their secondary and their receiver core, they have to have someone else in that situation, especially because they're so thin at corner. They might need a guy that can play corner and safety. They're gonna need a guy like an Antonio Johnson.
Oh, how about that?
If that's what you think, I don't think that Antonio Johnson is
Stone.
that versatile, but.
All right, so
Where do you see him being drafted, Steve?
because I didn't watch Jartavius, so I'm trying to
Brandon
get
Stevens.
who the hell is that guy?
I don't know.
He's a practice squad guy. They picked him up off the street.
Oh, all right. He was selling cars. No,
Brian has great knowledge of football.
No, we
100%.
agree that you need
corner.
corners. We don't
Okay.
disagree, but I'm saying you need a guy that could also play both.
Okay.
Because the way you guys have depth on injury.
Martin's gonna be a second round pick. Okay.
Thank you, Jimmy.
There you go. All right. Anyway, so you were talking about Sidney Brown. So you like Sidney Brown over Jartavius?
It's close for me, and like I said, all these safeties are really close. I like. This
I told
whole
you
class.
why.
Yeah. And I was rehash that a little bit.
My
so that,
biggest thing
You're
is
good.
I
So
think
what
there's a
sets
reason
him-
why
what
he
sets
plays
him-
strong safety is because he could use some work with his tackling. That's the biggest thing I saw. He kind of gets
Jartavius
loose.
or Sidney?
Sidney. He gets a little loose on the tackling. He doesn't seem to wrap up very well.
100%.
And that's why I have him just under Jartavius, because I think Jartavius is a well-polished tackler. But again, comes in, well, he's been there 5 years. So, you're going to develop that or you're just not going to be on a team anymore.
Okay. How old is Jartavius?
But-
Do we know how old he is by chance?
I'm not. But the thing with Sidney Brown versus Jartavius
He's been there 5 years.
is
He's only 22. That's good.
the thing
Well, he'll be probably 23 by the draft.
Still.
So the thing for Sidney Brown that's a trade-off that I would be willing to take is, so his tackling could use some work, but he makes it up with his coverage.
Sidney Brown's also been there for 5 years.
Oh, has he? Okay.
So
I
he,
didn't know
he
that.
makes up for his coverage. So
Yeah, he makes up the tackling for the coverage. So,
So
I think
if Brown is right, so you said Sidney Brown's the
So,
strong safety.
yeah, I would
So he's
flip
going
him
to play up a little
personally.
more. Okay.
I would play Jartavius as a strong safety and Sidney as a free safety. But if I were to draft Sidney, I'd put him as a free safety.
I
Okay.
lied. I had that backwards.
Or yeah.
You
free
let
safety.
Oh, no, they
you let
both
Sidney
didn't.
roam deep.
Yeah, I would let him run deep
Okay.
So they've both been there for 5 years.
because I think he can come up and make a play. And tackling is something you're going to work on in minicamp.
Yeah,
and all that.
Jartavius Martin just turned. He will be 19 or
I had-
23
so-
on Monday.
Oh,
Yeah, he's another guy that goes up for contested catches.
Can I throw one thing at you?
Yeah.
Because you said that Jartavius Martin is a better tackler than Sidney Brown.
Yeah, and
But
from
the
film that I
stat
watched.
line doesn't show it.
So I don't go off stat lines. I go off of film.
I understand.
I mean, that's the
But
opportunity and stuff too.
in
so.
5 years, and he's played majority of the games in 5 years, 320 total tackles. Whereas Jartavius Martin in 5 years, who has played similar game set, maybe the exact same, 225. So one guy's had 100 more tackles total.
Which I get, but like I said, I don't go off of
Yeah,
stats.
but
I don't
if-
like
if
going off of
Jartavius
stats
Martin's
because
playing-
it's a,
But
it's
you
a
just
dull.
playing up.
told me he's a better tackler.
Well, but
Go
that's
watch
not,
the
necessarily,
film.
that's not necessarily statistically based.
Like
If
I said,
Sidney
I don't
Brown-
go off of stats. I'm not a stat
Hold on.
monitor. I
You
like what
just
you
said-
do on the film.
You just said Sidney Brown plays in the box.
Yes.
So he has way more opportunity for a tackle
Yeah.
than playing as a free safety playing deep.
Right. I agree with that.
So that would be
that's
my
where it
argument.
makes up. That's what I'm saying. Go watch the film.
That's all.
You can't base. We're not Brandon here. You can't base everything
well,
off of stats.
I think the argument is also
Great.
like you watched Sidney Brown this year. Did you watch Sidney Brown last year? Like, because Sidney Brown played way better last year.
No, I didn't watch Sidney Brown last year.
Do you see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I'm gonna base
that's
you.
what I'm
You
saying.
didn't, well, he didn't go to the draft last year. I'm gonna base you what you did this year.
Well, that's not a very good argument because then we wouldn't even. There's certain people would never touch Jackson Smith and Jigba.
But again, I'm
never
going off
touch
of
Jackson
15
Smith and
guys.
Jigba.
I don't
Never
have
would've drafted
a million
Jamar
hours.
Chase.
I mean, okay, so I see what you're saying because sometimes like I'll watch games from a year back to see what happened, but like realistically,
So don't get me wrong. Sidney Brown is, like I said, all these safeties except for Jordan Battle. I absolutely hated Jordan Battle, but Sidney is 4. But he's like all these guys. They're pretty much interchangeable for me. I mean, it just depends.
all right.
It
Speaking
depends
of
what
Jordan
team
Battle,
they fit.
let's go to your 5. Let's go to Jordan Battle. Why did you hate him so much?
I don't think he has flexible hips, but they get stiff at times when he's shifting between routes. And my biggest thing is he has issues tracking the ball out of the quarterback's hands and in the air. And I think my biggest thing with him is he gets real handsy, and he gets a lot of penalties.
This is a fun conversation to have.
Well, being handsy?
No, what he's
Yeah, I
saying.
would say calm down.
No,
Herbert.
what he's saying, because here's my issue, right? I would almost agree with what you said. Outside of the fact that the defense is hands down better around him, so he is a little bit more risky, and it's noticeable sometimes.
I
on
would
film
make
when
the
you're
argument that
focusing on him.
Illinois secondary
Right.
But
was
again,
better
I
than
don't
Bama's
like risky
secondary this year.
guys, so I'd rank them a little bit lower because then
They
they're
have good
hurting your
corners.
team.
They're not top 10 corners.
I mean, I
And he had a
would,
lot of penalties this year.
I would argue Illinois secondary is better than Bama's. The only reason I watch Bama's
I would have to
is
agree.
because I watched a lot of Bama and a lot of teams play Bama.
But then you come down to who they played, and it's all that. So
But
it's
still-
all,
What was better, Bama's offense or defense this year?
I would say neither.
Hands down, their defense was won them more games. than
Yeah,
their
but I would
offense.
take.
That's sad
Their
because
check downs
Bryce
and
Young's probably going to go
Jahmyr
one
Gibbs
overall.
was their number one receiver.
So do you still
Was he
like Bryce
really?
Young?
Yeah.
That's why I like
What?
No,
You
I
still like Bryce Young?
I hate Bryce Young.
If you go to like the Saints, I would love to have a
Colt
Bryce Young.
McCoy. Colt
They have
McCoy
Derek
is his
Carr.
ceiling.
I said if you go to a team like the Saints,
Like
I
the
would love to have
Saints,
a
John,
Bryce
John,
Young.
what do you think of that statement?
If you go to a team like the Chargers, I'd like to have a check down running back in that
A team
situation.
that is already built.
I
up
know-
around
I know
it,
that-
I
finish.
completely agree with.
I know we're not talking quarterback, but they brought up Bryce Young. Bryce Young's
Let's
ceiling
play
is Colt McCoy.
You guys, so
Weak hips.
You're,
Let's play take a
you
shot
guys are
wins.
gonna call me crazy, but I'll take Jordan Love over Bryce Young. I'll die on that.
Well,
hill.
we're on safeties. Get out of that. we'll have conversations more.
Oh, okay, hold
once
on.
we get
Let's
closer.
finish safeties and then we'll get into hot takes. We need a button for that one too.
I mean, Jordan Battle was. I think good. I think Jordan Battle was good though.
Yeah, so
I don't
like
know
said,
why
he's
he-
not bad, but I just don't like him because the risk he take, and I don't like risky safeties because you get beat, and
So-
then you're hurting your team.
So like I when I
Which
watched
is
Battle, right?
Funny that you said that.
I think he was too patient when trying to tackle the ball carrier. When someone is shiftier, right? When he's trying to break down, he was too patient.
What do you mean by shifty?
By shifty, like agile,
Like
quicker.
loose at the hips?
you can put his foot in the ground.
Yes. You got very loose hips and very quick
so that's
feet.
my
That one's
downside
for
on
you,
Jordan
Jimmy.
All
Battle.
right, it's launch up. All right, that's a shot.
That's my thing with Jordan Battle is he has stiff hips. He
Oh, wait,
cannot
hold on.
go between covers well.
Well,
see
hold-
this guy.
Well, hold on.
got
Let
bushes
Wheels
in
talk.
there.
What'd you say, Wheels?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Hips,
talked over
hips,
you like
hips.
a rude asshole. So you don't like his hips, and that's fair. I think that he had trouble breaking down to make tackles. But I did note that he closes quickly though, and then when he does hit, he's very violent.
He hits
He's-
like a tank.
But
he
he's
hits like
going
a tank.
one way. He struggles breaking down, but if he hits you, you're
he
going
takes
to
good
hurt.
angles though. He takes good angles. I know he doesn't
And
normally miss that
that's
tackle.
a
He
big,
takes good angles.
That's a big thing coming out of college. You need to know what angle to take because if you don't, like I said, you're just gonna get beat. Which I like that. I love guys who know how to take angles. Not casual football watchers know that, but there's a certain angle that corners and safeties take to get to a guy that they're behind.
Yeah, it's called pursuit. And when you hear
Right.
the word pursuit,
Angle of pursuit.
Well,
No,
Angle
just
of
pursuit.
yeah.
when announcers typically they'll just say, "Oh, that was a good pursuit" or "pursuit angle." Yes,
They're not just gonna run behind the guy. They're gonna go in an angle to get ahead of him and be able to
Shakira.
tackle
Oh,
him.
you know
Hips
what's
don't
funny?
lie.
Shakira.
Oh, here we go. Look at that.
Hips are very important because it
Honey,
gives
when
you
you
the
walk
flex.
like
It
that,
gives you
you
for corners and safeties. all your movement is your lower body because you need to.
You're starting to make me cry.
You need to flip on a dime of change of coverage, change of direction, turn around and go up there after a pass. That's why hips are so important for.
I thought you're starting to feel it, boys.
So there's like other lines.
Anyway.
Goddamn, you guys really like talking over me.
Right.
I'm so sorry. I like.
I'm trying to go in depth here, and you're just yamming on.
We're actually talking under you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're over him.
Fuck
Quite a
me.
bit.
All right. I didn't.
You tried, Johnny.
Right.
Battle watching him, he was like a rabid dog trying to get that bone, and he would.
He's aggressive.
He would overcommit,
very
but he
aggressive.
overcommitted too much in the run game.
And that's
I did know he
again,
played pretty good in zone though.
He is not a man, though.
No,
How was he on the blitz? Because I don't know if I saw it.
So
that I don't know.
Oh,
He
so
plays in the box pretty well though. Oh,
He is he's pretty.
It'd be out of the segment, so keep.
He's pretty good on the blitz.
What were you gonna say?
I said,
Whoa,
speaking
I saw
of
Anthony,
man,
what?
I have meme.
oh, sweet Jesus.
We could do that. In
I
between.
like
But
Meanwhile-
no, but
That's okay.
we'll do it after.
We finish safeties.
Yes.
I mean, so he hits like a tank.
Yeah, he.
And
hits
what I
hard.
mean like that is he uses his full body weight just to bruise a guy.
You're getting everything.
Like he's throwing his body after him.
He's
but
giving you all that man
I'm
meat.
not a huge fan of corners and safeties doing that, but he's built for it. He can throw his body around.
Built for tough.
Yeah, he's built for it. And he's not going to
Hashtag
get
not
hurt.
Hashtag built
Not
different.
going to pull a hammy. Not going to get a soft tissue injury. The dude, he throws
He's
his
gonna
body
break
around.
bones or nothing.
No,
Yeah.
he carries his weight well, and
Yes.
that's so. Where would you play him, free or strong?
I think he can play in the box well. I did
Okay.
note that, so I think he can play either.
Okay.
Because I noted he played zone pretty well.
There is a guy that we haven't talked about, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm
that-
down. I'm down. Let's talk about whoever for
That I think can make it in probably the number 2 safety on the board. But it's not like drafted wise, but like what he'll do in the next year.
He drives through his hips. Well done, Jimmy.
Jair
Well done.
Brown,
Jair Brown. I don't wear.
Penn
Sorry.
State,
He's trying
Okay.
for his hips.
Yes, he does
or
drive
is
through
it
his hips.
Pitt, Penn State, whatever one's the
Winnington.
Lion.
Penn State,
The Nittany Lions.
Yeah.
the titty line.
He is great in coverage, great catch-up speed, high points the ball very well. So contested, great against contested.
Okay. How tall is he?
Being contested.
5'11", 203.
No more drinks. for you.
The problem is
Oh, thank you, John.
his speed. It's 4.65.
Yeah, but if your game speed's faster.
I would think it is, but he's also, I think he's younger too, right?
Now you said that he catches up quick. So that agility that. What John? How is he? Do you know?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say on the screen. share?
21. Right?
21.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. All these safeties that are coming out around 22, 23 that we've been looking at, he's on the
Experience.
younger side of things.
He's on the younger side. So you're thinking maybe his ceiling's a little higher.
Well, so
High-
here's the thing: is that team played
I'm
very
on
physical
second
this year.
C4.
You remember? That team played very physical this year.
Yes, it did.
All of their secondary was physical. All of their linebackers were physical. That entire team
no.
was physical.
He's 23, my bad.
So,
Oh.
January
He might be.
25th,
He might be.
2020, or
But-
2000 was when he was born.
but
He's a senior.
the way he played was really good.
Okay.
And really good is like an understatement.
Those are the guys that we notice, right? The guys that stand out. If you said you're like, listen, he played very well, you remember watching him play.
And he's a heavier guy, too. 203 for 5'11". I mean, you're a heavier
He's a
safety.
rock. He's a
Yeah.
rock.
Okay.
But that, like I said, that entire defense probably weighed more than any other defense out there, just because of how thick that team was.
Penn State always drafts. I mean, you go look at Joey Porter, too,
They don't
when we
draft.
talk about...
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Joey Porter
When
here.
Penn State recruits, sorry.
All right, so
when
that
they
was
recruit,
a
they
little-
always like
But
guys that
that's
have
a guy I
somebody
think
to
we
them.
should look out for. And
Honorable mention.
That's a day 2 guy.
Okay.
I think going probably late second.
Really?
Early
But
third.
you don't have Jartavius Martin going second.
No, I have him going
I need
mid
somebody
to late
cheer on.
third, early
God
fourth.
damn. I bet you Chipotle bet.
Mid
he
to late
goes
third,
second.
early
Chipotle
fourth.
bet.
You're not getting his Chipotle bet. You're not going to be here that day.
What a
Well, technically, if he's
dog.
here on the 3rd, he might be here that day.
Dog.
It's the
He'll be
4th, he won't
second.
be there.
All right, so if he gets drafted on day 2,
If he gets drafted on day 2.
Anyway, all right, John, go ahead and do your meme well. We'll do that as a little break, and then we'll jump into corners.
All right. I was trying to add some touches to it. However, oh well. If you don't know, don't claim to be a football fan if you don't know who this is.
Laces out.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Einhorn
is Finkel.
And you all can only imagine what I was trying to add to this picture.
That's pretty funny.
But then the one on the right is, this is what Odell's knee is going to look like by week 3.
Oh, that's good.
Meme Lane.
Now he's got more veins. in
Yes,
his neck than
yeah,
Odell
I
has
did
in his
change the
leg.
name to Meme Lane instead of They Meme Well.
Oh, okay. Well,
I like it.
why?
Yeah,
Meme Lane.
we're strolling down Meme
Oh,
Lane.
we're gonna rebrand. We're rebranding.
Yeah.
We reran at the beginning of the show today. Why not?
Laces out, Dan.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So,
I know what his face
The original trainee.
yes. The original Bud Light.
Give me a Bud Light.
Oh Jesus!
That's what I was trying to add to
Give
it.
me a Bud Light.
I love it.
But yeah.
We can't even talk about it. We're trying our hardest to stay out. Oh
Right.
my God! All right, what goes? Move us along, Steve, for me.
All right, quarterbacks. Oh my God! So I'm the only person here who has
Clark Phillips.
Clark Phillips III at 1.
Yeah, how about this? You explain yourself because you are way out of the ordinary of the
People-
rest of the world.
Well, people don't like him, and I mean, it's,
I don't. It's not that they don't
it's
like him.
because of his. It's because of his size.
He's 6
And age.
for me. He's very small.
In age, he's a sophomore. He's a redshirt sophomore.
I thought he was an older corner coming out of this. Am I wrong?
Sheriff Mayor.
Okay, I could be wrong.
Who?
Clark Phillips
You're
III.
wrong quite often.
Oh shit!
Is Ryan here?
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. Try to find a button.
want you.
Is Ryan here?
Ryan's in. Yeah,
Did you just turn into Ryan today?
Mr. Kanish.
Someone's got to pick up the slack.
Mr. Kanish.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Never trust a big name. Oh, a guy named Clark. Why? Oh, but wait. What's wrong with Clark Phillips? And Clark.
Honestly,
Didn't we
so-
say
Anyway.
that this sounds like a guy that would go to Baltimore?
I said that. So I said he fits that. His name fits Baltimore.
Wait, why did
You're right.
you use
They like taking small
Clark
guys.
Griswold?
Why did you use Kelly Ringo as a picture for that?
He did.
What? Yeah.
No. Oh man.
Why not?
You shouldn't, because he's dog shit.
Oh, don't tell that to Ryan.
Even Ryan is.
Don't tell that to
Ryan.
Ryan.
Anyway, back to Clark Phillips, right? So Draft Network comped
Give him
him
a 9.
to
You can't call him
Denzel
dog
Ward. He is bad. Comped him to Denzel Ward. Now, and I saw a lot of that, and I actually think his college tape. Granted, he played at Utah, so you take that for what it is, right?
So he's going to be injured first year?
Yep.
They have Kelly Ringo
Man,
at
I hope
5
not. I hope not.
I'm just.
They moving him up?
That Kelly Ringo's at 5.
Apparently, they didn't watch film. Jesus Christ.
That's insane.
I like Clark Phillips because of he plays the corner spot the way corners, in my opinion, corners should play that. He's smart. He's got high football IQ. He's amazing in man coverage positioning. He is
Amazing.
just good. He steps up in run defense, even for a smaller guy. He's tiny. I mean, you could say he's tiny.
He's short.
5'9",
He's
184.
short. And I think that's probably what tears him down on this list.
I
because
agree.
This list is more larger outside of Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, and you know me.
I like
Travius.
I like bigger corners. I'm a
but-
big fan, but he outshined everybody else in my opinion. That's why he's won.
Yeah.
Johnny,
Calm
we
down
put-
sure makes a lot.
So
Did
when
we
I-
put Travius Hodges-Tomlinson at 10?
No, it's Julius Brents. Ooh, I got Brents higher.
Travius just slid out.
So when I watched Clark Phillips again, small guy, but he disrupts plays left and right with his hands. He's a very
so
aggressive in
good.
coverage. He has
You know what?
He's another guy who has
you're hitting
very
your
good
mic.
body
Yeah,
control.
you're
KJ, you're hitting him.
Sorry. You know what's funny coming into this, right?
His hips are very fluid, Jimmy.
we just talk about cycling
got
through.
fluid
We just
hips.
talked about cycling through size and receivers and corners.
Yeah.
Where are we at right now? Where do you guys think we're at? Bigger receivers or shiftier, faster receivers? Where do you
So-
think we're at right now?
The
at this
majority of
point?
these guys coming out this year.
I've always liked bigger
5'2".
guys.
I'm just kidding. That was not.
Zay Flowers is 5'9".
Marquise Brown, 5'10".
Brown.
Tyreek
I
Hill,
compared him-
5'10".
I think
His
Josh
comp is
Josh
Marquise.
Downs is 5'10".
He's like
5'11".
5'10". They're all under 6 foot.
Jordan Addison's under 6 foot.
There's only like
Smith and Jigba's 6'1". I think Xavier's 6'1".
But I'm not talking about the NFL, though. I'm talking about the NFL. So if I'm drafting a corner, I'm drafting based on a talent we're currently playing. Receivers, we don't even know if they're going to do anything.
So it depends.
So if I'm drafting a corner, I'm drafting it for who I'm going up against, right?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
my question. So right now in the NFL, where are we at? Are we at big? Are we at middle?
We're in
Or
middle.
are we at small?
I would say we're in the middle right now because you got guys like DK and then you got guys like.
Well, yeah, but that's
Marquise.
one guy. DK and Mike Evans that's two guys that I can name that
T.
are all like
Higgins.
big guys. T's at number 2.
He's
I
the number
agree
one
that-
on Cincinnati. I'll die on that.
T's the
100%.
number 2.
Listen, that's a hill though. Like that's
You can
he's
die on
playing
it.
a
That's
flag.
fine. He's going to get traded this year, so it doesn't matter.
T's probably getting traded. Yeah.
But
That's
T's
fine.
at number 2.
mean,
Jamar would be the one, which I think Jamar's 6 foot or 6'1".
6 foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a big wide receiver, but he's not a small wide receiver.
Jay Jettas love him.
So I mean,
JJ's
are you
6'3".
Playing.
Are you
Yeah.
trying to say where Clark Phillips fits on a team with
Well,
the way the wide receivers are nowadays?
So the
Are you
question
trying to-
is, should we rank these 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" corners a little higher because we're dealing with way faster players?
I would
So,
play. I mean,
Justin
he's a slot
Jefferson
corner.
is 6'1".
So my argument for Clark Phillips, it's not so much his size, right? Because Gonzalez is 6'2". Brent's out of Kansas State's like 6'3", 6'4". So like it's not so much size. It is. I watched you, and I thought you did a way better job than everybody else I watched. That's why you're one.
Okay.
Your game film, no matter who you played,
He played a lot in the slot, though.
Brent's is
need to
6'3".
not. He played on the outside often. He almost never played in
I
slot.
must have watched a different game than you. 'cause
And
it was
he
against the United
smoked
players.
Jordan Addison often.
So
I mean,
Clark
often.
Phillips is 5'9", and he only had a 33-inch vertical.
Yeah.
But
He went on his tippy toes.
here's the thing: I don't have to jump if you don't come off the ground.
Exactly.
So if you're fast and you keep a guy and you're inside his hips the entire time, he does not have to leave the ground.
So he slipped one time, and Jordan Addison caught one pass, one game.
Didn't you play in Jigba too?
And
Clark
I
Phillips
don't think
is
so.
Utah, so now.
And
Yeah,
well,
no, did not.
they played in Jigba last year.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
did
they
not
didn't
watch
play
it.
in Jigba this year.
No, yeah,
he didn't play.
And I watched that game, and yeah.
Give me a
they played
second. I'll
fine.
look up the stats.
So,
Well, but
and
when-
Addison talked shit
But
after
if
that
he's
one
good,
catch. I
but
thought
if
that was
you have
funny.
this size going up against a talent like Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson,
In Jigba.
Devontae, and
He can run
Adams,
with them. He can
in
run with
Jigba.
them.
Okay, he's also 4 or 5
Ryan, I
inches
got that
shorter.
from you.
Doesn't matter. He has good hands. He's good. He's good. His man coverage, his skill set as a corner outweighs that. He's gonna keep up. He's gonna play that unless Jay Jett is coming up here, right, and jumping, which he's not gonna run.
Which it has to be a great. It's got to be a great quarterback.
Yeah.
It's
right?
got to be a fantastic toss, which it could
Not
be.
a good
Right.
comp.
What?
That's not a good comp
What-
because
who are
that
we
game
talking about?
against Utah, Smith and Jigba had 15 receptions for 347 yards.
Yeah, he did real well, Ryan. That's what I get for listening to you.
Shit.
How
All
many
right.
catches?
I mean, I don't know if he was tied up on Smith and Jibba that game. If we're
Three-
gonna be honest.
But it's also a
347
year
yards.
ago, right?
Right.
So there's
That
a lot of
was
growth. There's a lot of
2021,
growth,
so-
right?
But
I'm
even-
not disagreeing.
Even then,
5 total tackles, 4 solo tackles, 1
Ryan,
pass
is that a question,
deflected,
Ryan, or an exclamation
1
point?
pass
I-
deflected for Clark Phillips.
That is kind of crazy, though. 300 yards.
I mean, that's yeah.
350.
That was the.
That's averaging what, like 20 something per 23.1.
You know
per
what that was?
reception.
He wasn't on Smith and Jibba that game. That's
He
what it
wasn't?
was. I don't think so.
So if
Okay.
you
'Cause
go
I did
Marvin
watch that
Harrison,
game, and I
Marvin
would've made
Harrison,
comment on
6
that.
receptions, 71 yards. Egbuka, 3
Egbuka.
receptions, 46 yards. Fleming, 5 receptions, 35
I like
yards.
to say Mbike. Sounds better.
And
Oh,
Mecca-
jeez, Jimmy,
Egbuka.
get out of here with that dad joke.
Steven's argument for Clark Phillips is hard to.
If all of you,
I'm
you
comparing
don't-
stats for a game that we're referencing.
Jimmy, I appreciate that.
But if I'm
How
going
is
to
it
go out
hard
and
to
say
refute?
something,
No, it was a dad joke.
Yeah, dad joke because
That's why.
Got it.
college.
You,
I got
Utah,
it.
Utes, they're the Utes.
I got it.
Anyway, all right. So
Yeah.
I have Clark Phillips as 1. I think everybody else is
Six.
Gonzalez as 1.
he's 6 for me. Gonzalez is my 1
Miss you,
far
Jimmy.
away.
And what's funny is I have Witherspoon as my 2.
Okay. So you guys want to rank our safeties real quick?
Yeah, but Ryan.
I thought we did say.
Ryan.
We didn't rank them?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, because
Ryan,
you guys already.
my
the
bad, sorry.
argument Wheels made though
Ah.
is somewhat tangible with Clark Phillips, but it's not. Like if you're giving up 350 yards and that was Clark Phillips that was covering him, that means Clark Phillips will not make it in the NFL with an NFL caliber receiver. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
but if
that's-
we don't know, I don't know if
I have
Clark
to go
Phillips
watch
was
the
covering him
film,
that game. I
so-
got to go back and watch that
Yeah.
game.
Again, it's
it's
hard
a
going off the
2-year-old
stats.
game. So I agree but disagree with you, Ryan. There is some mentioning for why the stats were there. So,
Yeah.
but go ahead, Steve.
It's
sorry.
something to look into.
No, let's just talk about corner 2, right? So I mean, apparently we have Witherspoon as 2, right?
Witherspoon
Witherspoon-
is everybody's one but yours.
No,
No,
Witherspoon's
Oh no.
Gonzalez is my
no.
1.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
let's talk
no.
Gonzalez real
Actually,
quick,
we
then.
have an inner turmoil here right now, because we have you and Ryan have Gonzalez at 1,
Okay.
and I think me and Steve have Witherspoon at 1.
I have
Then
Phillips as 1.
have-
Okay,
I
you
have
have
Witherspoon
Witherspoon
at
at
2.
2.
Then have Johnny
So-
as the split.
Well, that's why I have the ranking. It's averaged.
Okay.
So that's why I have I have Gonzalez at 1, Witherspoon at 2, and then
I love
believe
Gonzalez.
it or not, Clark Phillips got the average at 5 with your 1.
I fell in love with this kid.
We had him at like
first
10,
film I watched
9
on
the
him.
board.
He's good.
He's a
Who's that?
nightmare for the number 1, Gonzalez. I mean,
Oh, so we're talking about let's talk Gonzalez.
day 1, this kid's gonna step in and he's gonna make an impact, and I think he's gonna be better than Sauce. I honestly do. I mean, the kid, he has the intangibles all over the field, all over. I mean, his height, his weight.
though.
Huh?
He had to though. Name another corner coming out of that team.
So
Name a
his
safety
height
coming out
is-
of
But
that
again,
team.
but he picked the team up and he put him on his back.
So you're going
He
by
just showed that he's-
intangibles.
That in films, I'm saying.
Okay.
From the games I've watched from him, he does not get beat. He doesn't let a guy inside. He stays close to him on his hips. He is a man corner. This guy is a great man corner, and he's very good at zone too. Just not as good at zone as he is man. It's very small though.
So Jimmy, the reason why mainstream media is pushing Porter is obviously because of his alma mater and his father.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He's not good.
But Porter, well, he's a very large corner. Like, think of Emerson and the Browns. Did you like Emerson as he came in and started
Yeah,
playing?
he is, right,
He
and I
played
love-
big, he
I
played
love
large, and he played
Gonzalez so
physical.
much.
Gonzalez is
gotta
kind
get
of
a
that
college
same
jersey
kind of
of
guy.
him. I don't
Gonzalez plays very physical, but be honest, with the mainstream media, they're hyping Witherspoon going to the Detroit Lions, and I agree with them because of the fit and the scheme.
I have Gonzalez going to Detroit, but I understand the Witherspoon.
But Gonzalez and Witherspoon are 1A, 1B.
Yes.
They both excel all around. One's a little better in man, one's a little better in zone.
Really? So you guys think
they're
they're
both
1A,
great
1B?
tacklers.
So yeah,
They're both great tacklers.
Witherspoon's a better zone. Gonzalez obviously a better man.
Man,
What?
I don't
See, I would almost argue that a
know.
little bit, but
So all right. So did you have any negatives for Gonzalez?
Not really, no.
Did not have any.
It's hard having
have any
negatives for a number 1.
Because
think-
I'll tell you that
I'm
I
trying to
have
think
negatives.
the negatives that I had for Gonzalez is
It does
I
take.
would say over pursuit, but
He gets out of position sometimes.
yeah, that's probably the
So,
better.
yeah,
better
that-
word.
if I had to do one
okay,
bad
so
thing, he
that's
gets out
I
of
didn't.
position.
Okay, I didn't even have
That
that.
would
Plays
be a
out
better
of
word
position
for it.
sometimes.
So I am on an. That's fine. That's fine because I'll build my shelter and I'll
Well,
withstand
so
all that.
what is your negatives for
He
Gonzalez?
was inconsistent in press, right? So he's very inconsistent. In
Well,
his
that's
press
why he
coverage.
said, "Man, I was like, I don't think
I like
I
him,
think
man.
Witherspoon's
I
a
don't
better
And he
man."
does
than
not jam
Gonzalez.
his receivers in press. He doesn't do it. So he gives up a quick step every rep, and it's why. I guess I don't understand.
But
Agreed,
even with
Jimmy.
that, he
Agreed.
stays with him. He doesn't get beat over top.
Well, no, because he's 6'1".
But
Right.
again, he's using
so-
his
using his
ability,
intangibles,
which
to
he's not going to
his-
be able to do in the pros.
You know what's funny?
You
That's
cannot
actually
rely
that's actually
on
a
height.
tangible.
Intangible.
Because it's measurable.
I don't know. I mean,
He's
a lot of
using
guys
his height,
rely on
which is a
height.
tangible.
I agree.
We push height a lot when we talk certain positions.
And I like taller corners. I just
Height
said that.
matters at the corner
Yes.
position.
It does,
It's
but
going
if
to
you
help him in
played
the
your
NFL.
college career relying strictly on your
He
height,
wasn't relying strictly on his height.
well,
though. The
when
dude
he
is
get
talented all
there's
around.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to quick step him and lose him fast.
We'll see.
He's like the second
He is-
quickest
I mean, the
corner.
dude
He's
had,
not
what,
going
a
to lose
four-
him fast.
four-
And
3.8.
Jigba ran like a 4.6.
His
Yeah,
4.38
and Jigba's
I
hamstring
understand. I
doesn't
have
get
his
out
4
halfway
year-
down
I
the field.
understand.
his 4.38 is 88th percentile.
I get
So
that.
he's top. His broad.
And then Jigba runs
And
like
what's
a
his- what was
4.6,
his broad
and you just
jump?
said that.
It doesn't
11
matter
feet,
with
1
that
inch.
quick step. You don't jam.
Again, you can teach that. Even
I don't disagree with you, but I can catch up to you on the sideline because guess what happens? I'm in between you and the ball.
That's like
I will
saying, so
always
I'm-
be in between you and the ball.
I'm-
And if I'm the same size as you and I'm only a foot shallower than you, I'm good.
Speed is everything in the NFL. We talk speed.
Well, sure.
Speed. It's sped
Jackson
up.
Smith and Jigba is a 4.52.
Is that what he ran out his pro day?
Yeah, it's
Which I understand where
44%.
It's not about that.
I understand where you're
That's
coming from.
You just
So
made that
I'm
argument.
not
I
trying
did
to come
not.
for your
Yes,
neck
you
or
did.
anything.
I did
I
not
get
make
it.
40 speed.
Yes,
I did not.
no,
I did
you
not.
made the argument that if Jackson Smith and Jigba makes the initial
Off
cut,
the line.
right? If he makes the initial cut,
If you are not engaging, you are not holding up that.
But I'm
your
also a
straight line
yard-
speed. He's gonna beat you.
but I'm also a yard off the line, so
know
I
what-
don't need to
you know
make
what
up that
Tyreek's
yard if I
40
can catch
was?
up to you and I'm faster.
Yes, you too.
No, I don't.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's pro day was anywhere from 4.48 to 4.52.
It was 4.52.
yeah, we'll just go on.
We'll just call it a slow
Go on-
side.
yeah, go on the
We
high.
all know he's not fast.
No, he's a possession receiver. That's what he's always been.
Who?
Well, and Ryan, so that's what I think that's Steve's argument is that
He's being drafted as
is
the best
that
receiver.
his
Oh,
three
yeah, he's not
cones
a speed guy.
amazing.
He's never
So
been a
his
speed
his inside outside cut will blow up Gonzalez is his argument. Is that he'll be lost at the line, that if you can get the ball in his hands within the first 10 yards, he's gone. He's downfield.
You know who I
JSN's
think?
gone.
I mean,
and that's his argument. But I disagree with that because of his size. The size makes up for the lack of
His 3-cone
lack
was
of press, I guess you would say, right?
you know who? Gonzalez is going to play very well against like the guys we talked about: DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Mike Evans, those bigger guys.
Yeah.
He's going to shine there too because with the size, he's going to sit there with them stride for stride. I like Christian Gonzalez. He's a top 5 pick for me all day long.
Well, he's a pick.
How about this?
but
How about this?
he's
Let's
not-
I get where you're coming from.
Let's do
when I
one
saw
thing.
the inconsistency, I was like, okay, he's gonna lose.
Steve, let's do one thing. Let's go into Witherspoon, and then what we'll do is come back and let's talk about Detroit and why Witherspoon makes more sense than Gonzalez.
I have
because
Gonzalez
to me,
going Witherspoon.
I've got Witherspoon going, but it sounds like you would rather have Gonzalez going.
I've had Gonzalez going for a minute to Detroit, like even before the trade.
So tell me why you have
Yeah,
Witherspoon.
you have.
So
That's-
tell me
that's
why you
true.
have Witherspoon lower. Or how about this, Steve? Tell me why you have Witherspoon
It's a
higher.
1A,
How about that
1B
one?
for me. It's very close, but from the film I watched, he just edged him out, and that's because of just his ability. And yeah, he does, like Steve says, yeah, he might get beat on the initial step, but he's going to sit there with the guy stride for stride. He's going to get inside with him. It's very close to me. It's very hard to rank these guys because this corner class
It's
is
not hard to
good.
rank guys. It's just hard to be right and rank guys.
Like I said, I feel Gonzalez is my number one, just edging out Witherspoon, and that's not a slight towards Witherspoon. It's very close.
When I watch Witherspoon,
I would take both these guys in a heartbeat on any team right now.
I really enjoyed. I liked his man coverage too, right? So I thought his man coverage was very tight. So for me, right, obviously, because I watched this guy weeks ago. So for me to have him over Gonzalez initially means that I liked what I saw with him and his skill set more. I thought that he jammed at the line, he stayed with his guy more, he didn't give up a step. He has a knack for evading blockers when playing against the run, so he can set that edge like a corner needs to. And I liked his reading underneath routes. He was very quick on that. He saw what was happening and he would react. I thought that was very good, and he's strong in man. That's big. We all agree that man coverage 4 corners is a must.
Yeah,
It's number one.
And
I mean,
that's
man
why.
coverage is number
and
one.
that's why I
What
have
differentiates you
Witherspoon. I
from a
agree with
safety?
you, Steve. That's why I have Witherspoon above Gonzalez, because Gonzalez is better in the zone than he is with the man in my mind.
Which is funny because I would agree with that. When he plays off, he doesn't have to worry about press or
Correct.
giving up that first step.
Correct.
He's almost reacting. You're reactive, not proactive.
Correct. Which is the reason why now.
Now, okay, I would give that up. I would agree with that.
Everything you're saying about Witherspoon is the reason why I have him in Detroit.
Okay.
Everything.
Because he fits the system better. He fits that.
It's not about the system. It's about look about the receivers he's got to play against. He's going to need to play more man than he will play zone.
So,
and that team plays a little faster, like a Dallas, right? Because that front has to attack the quarterback. They will play a little faster.
I still think Gonzalez would be better against Ajeta. It's close.
Now, is that a size thing for you?
Yeah, it is a size thing. And that's nothing. against
Actually,
Witherspoon,
it's funny that you say that because I think Ryan might agree with you on that.
I think
because
I think Gonzalez
Ryan
matches up
has
better.
said JJ still doesn't have the largest route tree.
No,
He doesn't.
It's I don't want to say it's a simplified route tree.
It's a Jamar Chase
but
route
it
tree.
is. Yeah, it's not as
He would disagree with you. He thinks Jamar Chase runs more underneath crosses, more actual full routes as opposed to JJ.
So
JJ is
think-
more like a DK with better talent. Is what his argument would be.
so-
You have the size, but he has the very good high contested catch rate. He also runs better streaks than he does underneath.
Okay. No, wait, hold on.
So
No, he's saying none to
JJ's
you.
produced.
Jamar Chase and JJ are complete opposites in
JJ
his mind. Both very good wide receivers,
they're not.
but one's a route runner, which is what he would say Jamar Chase is, and he would say that JJ is a way better talented. I don't want to say DK, but he's better when it comes down the streaks and posts and flags.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is what he would
I'd
say
have to
in
agree
that
with
aspect.
All right, Wheeler, what were you trying to say?
You could tell I
Sorry.
talked to you too much,
What
Ryan.
was I saying?
Sorry.
What were we going? Oh, why? So yeah. So with me, yeah, Jay Jetta has a more simple. I don't want to say simplified, but not as, not as big of a route tree.
Thursday.
But I think Detroit's going to look at him like, all right, we got to go against Jay Jet twice a year, every year. and we just got rid of Okuda, our number one technically. We got to get a guy who's going to, compete with him.
When you look for a guy like that, do you want a guy that's going to jam him, knock him off his route, give your edge rushers more time to get there?
To a point, yes, but I think that I'd take the trade-off with Gonzalez just because of his.
But if
pursuit.
Gallas is going to
you don't want to.
if Gallas is going to excel in zone, he is giving up 5 yards?
You're giving up the dump off every single time.
Every play.
And if it takes 3 seconds for your guys to get to him, that's why I take a Witherspoon who's going to press him at the line. I agree.
He closes very quickly. He'll get there. He'll get there very fast.
You're not wrong.
But like we all said,
To a point,
in my
wrong.
opinion, because I have over pursues for Witherspoon too. If they both over pursue, they're both going to be susceptible to a tackle and open field.
Or a double team.
I can't
like
find the
this.
10-yard for Witherspoon, but the 10-yard for Gonzalez is 1.54.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, they're both stupid fast. If you actually look at the 40 yards,
I agree.
I
they're
like
both stupid
Gonzalez.
fast.
I mean,
They're
I think-
second off, so I bet you it's probably a split second
I
difference.
think
Well,
he's the first corner off the
4.38
board.
compared to 4.45.
You still think Gonzalez is the first corner? Okay.
What do you?
Okay.
It's
I mean,
4.39 and
he probably will
4.38.
be.
You just showed it.
I'm
Arizona
looking
traded
at Draft
and
Buzz,
one
and
of the
they.
guys wants
That's
out.
from Draft Buzz.
I
I mean, I could see him going 3 to Arizona.
Don't know what to tell
I
you.
get too
Just-
Gonzo?
because I've had Arizona drafting a secondary guy for I don't know ever because they're probably I don't know should they draft
Yes.
quarterback?
Oh, it is
No,
4.45.
but,
I
it'd be
might
funny.
have typed it wrong. I apologize. It is 4.45 for
Yeah, so
Witherspoon.
4.38, 40 for
So,
Gonzalez.
I apologize. That's on me.
4.45 for Witherspoon.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
Which
a
is, I mean,
4.39
that's-
for Witherspoon. Is that pro day or is that combine?
I had a 4.39 for Witherspoon
do not know.
also.
4.39.
It's
So I think that was like
calculated given how the stat would
think that
rank
was-
at the combine.
all right, whatever.
His 40
His pro day was
time
4.45 on his pro day for Witherspoon.
It's 4.4, yeah, 4.4.
Jared
pro day.
Goff is Rodgers' dad.
But here's the question. Here's the
Jared Goff is
argument
about
we've
to
been making,
ball
right?
out.
Here's the argument we're
Yes,
making.
yes.
The reason why Steve and I would argue for Witherspoon over Gonzalez is because if you're going to play press, you're going to give your good defensive line, which we've argued constantly. Remember, what's the kid's name that they drafted in the 6th round? Detroit.
Oh, the other DN opposite of
Right.
Hutchinson.
So you have Aiden
James Houston.
James Houston.
James Houston.
So you got those two guys who had phenomenal pursuit last year,
nobody's talking
but they were getting beat downfield constantly.
'Cause the corners
If
were
you can
lacking.
get a guy pressed, you get
Okay.
James Houston and Aiden Hutchinson up in their face.
I would make
Now-
the argument.
Now that you're
Now
yeah,
you're
okay,
struggling.
So
The
now that you
argument-
went to the defensive line thing, I see where you're coming from.
You know
So
what's-
That's why
I would
Witherspoon
agree
fits
that
the system.
Witherspoon fits that just because of the way he jams them up.
I think
Right.
that-
That's the argument. That's the
I
argument.
think the
I
large,
wasn't understanding what to give the defensive line time. That's my bad.
Yeah. So
Holy Santa Claus.
can we
shit.
that's what just happened up in his mind.
can we
No,
go, can we go to
sorry
the next one?
guys. Sorry guys, I had a.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
I guess if
So how much of a factor is age? Because Christian Gonzalez he's gonna be 21 at the start of the season.
yeah, and Witherspoon's
He's-
22.
He'll be pretty much 23 at the.
So
At
at this
2 years is a.
so
eh.
at this part, right, in the top 10, because that's our argument.
Corners last about 6 to 8
It-
years.
Well, you can be a 10-year corner, but it's in the NFL. I don't think that age matters too much until you hit 30.
I mean,
So, but I
then you
think
have Patrick
Detroit is
Peterson.
not worried about that. I think Detroit needs a guy that can come and play day one what they need him to do.
I think
both these guys are capable
I
of
agree.
doing that.
I agree.
I think the difference is the press. I don't think the age is a factor. It's press and who can show up day one.
Yeah,
And I think both these
I
guys
get
are
it.
capable of doing that. I just think Witherspoon is the better press corner. Simple.
I would, yeah, I think that I would agree with that.
I'll agree with you there just because of what we said.
There we go, common ground.
And
I
just,
love
and
that.
just an
that.
FYI,
I don't disagree with
that
that. I
Witherspoon
understand
weight
that.
is actually incorrect on that website.
It's 181.
Witherspoon's weight is 181, not 170.
At least according to combine.
Yeah.
170.
Yeah, they had him at 170 coming in
No,
college.
that's tiny. He ain't
That's
that.
small, but he's 181, so he's only 19 pounds different than Gonzalez, I think.
All right, so so I could see the 1A 1B, right? Because if you excel on next level in zone, which I think Gonzalez definitely does. I think that's his bread and butter. Compared to a guy that's going to excel in man, you can do the same thing, but inherently in press coverage, you give up the underneath.
Well,
That's why as Browns
And in
fans, when we
defense-
watch our defense play off coverage, later in games, prevent defense. That's the
worst
joke.
fucking scheme in the game.
That's the
Blame
joke.
Joe Woods.
That's the
no,
joke,
it's not a
right?
Joe Woods thing. Cleveland's been playing prevent defense since I've been alive.
Yeah.
We've.
So that's
I
Since
guess we just got
95.
no. Just yeah.
Are you buying his jersey? You're buying his jersey right now. He's buying Gonzalez jersey right now.
So
I mean, live on the show.
up bet for Gonzalez.
He's buying it right now. That's love. So that
I love
you know what's
Gonzalez,
funny is
bro.
I
I
get
hope
that
he goes
having
to-
a my guy. I appreciate that. All right, so who do we got for 3 then?
I gotta use
Or 4? Well, yeah, for 3. Oh, you got to pee? Oh, we got a little pee break.
Do we have
coming.
a?
No, you're good.
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
let's
Just make
let's
sure you turn the
talk-
mic off.
Let's talk. Give me 1 second so I can bring it.
So
I gotta
who-
find
who-
my mouse.
So who do you have at? Well, yeah, no, 4, right?
3.
Well, no, that's right because I'm the only one that
So-
the odd man out.
Well,
So
Emmanuel
3
Ford.
is Deontay Banks out of Maryland.
Really?
Yeah,
I did
Wait,
not
wait,
like
who-
him that
Really?
much.
Who do you
Deontay
rank it?
even
What's that
close.
rank from?
Deontay Banks.
Deontay
No,
Banks.
what is that rank from?
But number 3, our number 3 corner.
Well,
That's mine.
it.
That's
That's
my
it.
number 3.
I was just gonna
He's
say
number
because the
6 for-
consensus is
Manuel Forbes?
is
Okay,
Manuel
let's
Forbes.
go
All
to
right,
Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's talk about this guy. He is.
My bad. I forgot we're doing consensus.
You want to hear? You want to hear where Emmanuel Forbes is for me?
Where?
Dead last.
Like 10th? Or-
Like
4.
15th out of all
He
my
is
DBs.
4 for me.
15th. He is.
I think he shines in all aspects tackling in
absolute
both
worst.
coverages. So why don't you let's go why you don't like him and I'll go why I like him.
Right.
Let's go back and
Because
forth real
per
quick.
NFL, well, other than his weight, I mean, he is 6'1", 166 pounds.
He is the lowest weight that weighed into the company.
You're gonna put
However,
No.
pounds on
however, he did run a
Even then.
93rd percentile 40 at 4.35,
but
which
with
he
that,
should.
yeah, with that weight, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I outweigh I
So
outweighed him 2 years ago.
So let me talk about pros before I just hammer down on this dude because I
He's
do
a
not.
ball hawk though, man.
He is, and I actually have the ball hawk. He will play the ball. He's quick to bounce back
Exactly,
on routes.
Jimmy.
I'm gonna get you the ball.
Yeah, 6 interceptions.
He's
exactly.
good. No, I 100% agree. He's sticky in man coverage. He's aggressive. And then I watched more. I watched Bama in Kentucky from last year. All right. So he can be too aggressive, and that depends on the type of defense you want to play.
over-pursues.
So, but I also understand that, right? I don't hate because I have aggressive as a pro too.
But his route recognition is next level
Okay,
in
sure.
change of direction. It's
Now-
Oh, hold on, Ryan. This guy reminds you of Sauce
wow.
Really?
Oh, talk about a take.
Gardner. Right.
So hold on, you.
Holy Santa
So
Claus.
you think this dude is sauce, and I'm going to tell you that if you
He
think this
probably
dude is
did,
sauce,
Jimmy.
So we got a guy in the NFL currently that has sauce around his neck that he wears.
He did-
Is this
he
guy
did
carrying a
pick up-
book around him because of
he did pick
Forbes
off
list?
Will Levis. No. He lacks strength. He can't get off blocks when defending the run. He can't do it. He gets turned around. He got turned around against Kentucky, and he gave up a big play against Kentucky, and Levis was thrown to nobodies. He doesn't commit defending the run.
So
No, hold on. This is where it gets bad. So he doesn't commit when defending the run. He slows up. I watched him slow up. He had a chance to be the first guy on a run that broke through the middle because he was playing the ball, and he slowed up on purpose to not be that dude. He just didn't commit.
So you think confidence issue there?
No, I think he's a pussy. I think he's a poor teammate, and I think he's a
Just come out and
flippin'
say it.
pussy. He's a pussy. He had a
yeah.
chance to make a play, do something for your team on a bad defense, and you didn't do it.
So I think he got dragged down because of that bad defense.
Which that's fair. I don't
so
disagree.
for
'cause
me
I
is-
think we talked about with Texas A&M. So we talked
Run
about
defense, I don't.
if you have a chance to be there and you slow up, you hurt your team.
I didn't watch that game, so I can't really talk about that. I don't take run defense in a lot of light with a corner.
I mean, even like
It's
the
not
dude
a-
was running at him. He was playing back in
Like,
coverage.
He just slowed down.
A runner was. This is a different play. A guy was coming out, and all he did was just throw a shoulder. He just tried to throw a shoulder at
So
him.
you think he's
He
he's
is
Denzel Ward.
inept. No, Denzel make a tackle. Denzel get
Then
up there.
break his leg.
This dude literally didn't even try and wrap up. He stood straight up and threw his shoulder.
Okay.
It is bad. Do
So-
not like this guy. He's not a team player. And
He's got-
I think it shows. Yeah, Forbes is bad. He's my.
I like him a lot. He's a ball
last
hawk.
DB.
He has a great eyes. Always make it hard to get past him, in my opinion.
And I agreed with all of
He has
that.
a very good route recognition and
And yet he is
change
an
of direction.
absolute liability everywhere else.
so
Half of the
if-
game.
If
So
you
this is
had to
your
draft
bust.
him, where would you put him on the field?
This is your bust.
Yeah, he's.
If you had
he's
to draft
awful.
him, where would you play him on the field? Outside,
Play
inside,
him?
slot.
I gotta be honest. I don't play him.
Okay.
I mean, if
All right.
you're not gonna sit there
Okay.
and be an actual teammate and step up like everybody else is expected to do, I'm not playing you.
You have character issues over anything else.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he was talking about when you were in the bathroom.
I mean, he
doesn't seem to have the confidence, and he's a quote unquote pussy.
He's a pussy. He's susceptible to a quick move off the line too.
So, is there a guy that you would take over him that we don't have ranked?
Everybody,
that we have ranked?
everybody.
I would take Ringo over him. And
Really?
and I don't like Ringo at all.
I don't like Ringo either. Ringo's 9 for me.
I think there's a difference here. From what it sounds like, because I was upstairs, right?
You guys got DJ Turner from Michigan. I'd take Michigan over.
It sounds like your argument here is character assassination with him. You think that he's not able to change his character, right? Going into the NFL. And then you're saying he's a liability and is uncoachable.
That's what Steve's saying. I can't really differ any of that.
He had a guy run at him. He had a chance. I mean, directly fucking at him.
Well, there's a lot of guys that get beat when they run at him.
No. And he didn't get beat. The dude didn't make a move. He just shoulder checked him. Like nothing. He didn't make an effort. Nothing.
Is this a one-time occurrence?
No. It is a consistent thing. Darrelle Revis didn't make tackles. Darrelle Revis never committed.
Darrelle Revis was not a soup. He was not a very physical corner.
You're not a team
No,
guy.
Revis was a cover corner more than anything.
He wasn't a physical corner. So that's what Manuel Forbes is.
Revis Island, right?
165 pounds? I don't think so.
Forbes is small.
Yeah,
Forbes is
small,
very
but again,
small.
He's a zone corner.
Well,
Revis was like 220. He was not a small corner.
No. But you got to remember the NFL back then. Everybody was freaking huge.
It was big time.
It was
Just
big.
saying.
You could hit a guy over the middle and not get a flag.
You're not a team guy.
You know what's funny is I have him ranked here. The only reason
5'11 and a half, 204 for
He was big.
I'm just saying.
The
For
only
that
reason
size, I mean, that's
combine. That's not his NFL.
Oh, yeah. So
weight.
you probably
That's his
put on
combine.
10, 15 pounds easily.
So here's my thing, right? Like, I agree with kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
My only issue here is I don't like to count a guy out completely. And it sounds like you just don't even want him on the field.
I would. You can't. You're a
Revis is
liability.
not- okay.
You can't play him.
My bad, Ryan. I took you out of context.
You
You're saying, right?
You cannot depend on this guy to do half of the job. He doesn't do it. He literally took a play off. He had the chance to be there, be that dude,
100%. I have to.
and
agree, Ryan.
he's
He is
just
probably
not
the
there.
best
Best
I've ever
corner.
seen.
First
you've
thing,
seen.
I'm done with you. Like, Joe Hayden was hands down.
No.
Wait,
No.
hold on.
No.
The best corner you've ever seen is who?
He said Revis.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Revis.
Hayden's right there with him. Hayden
the
played
best
some of the
corner
best.
ever?
AJ Green and Antonio Brown right there.
If Hayden
Like,
didn't have the hip injury
that's fair.
and have to miss
All right, that's
like
fair.
a season
That's
and a
fair.
half, I would
Like,
have
come
to
on.
say yes. He would probably be better. But
we
Hayden,
only lost him for a year out of 10, I think, and then he went to the Steelers at the end of
but
his
he didn't-
prime.
But even then,
And then he
got-
played zone.
The only
Sorry.
I
way,
love Hayden. I have
Sorry.
a signed football from him
the
that I
only
stole.
way Forbes is going to be reliable on a team is if you have a safety over top of him that is able to come up and make and stop the run. Or other than if not, then you just run his side. He can't do it, dude. He willfully stops playing the game of
You
football.
sold me. I was never really sold on Forbes. And when I saw his size, I kind of like
You know what
zoned
pisses
out.
me off? If he just would have made a tackle. If he would have shown any effort at all in trying to tackle dudes, honestly, he's probably like 3 for me. He probably is better than Witherspoon because he is that dude in coverage. He is very good.
Emmanuel Forbes?
Yes. Yeah.
His athleticism's that good?
His coverage, his man coverage, his ball hawking, he is that good.
Well, that's what Ryan just said. He's a clear corner. Like, he's a very good corner.
He's a very good corner, but he's a dog shit team.
Yeah, but that's
He's
the
a liability.
coachability to me. Like, why can't he go to a team and be the best?
If you show effort in the tackle,
Like, look at T.O. Let's just go to the other side of the ball. Look at T.O. Everybody hated him.
I mean, you still have,
He couldn't play on a single team, but every time he was on that field, he did what he needed to do.
Sure. But he did what he needed to do. That's my argument. This dude willfully stops playing half the game of football.
Did the tackle need to be made?
Yeah, the dude's running directly at him.
Yeah, but what field position, situation? Are you already losing? Are you up? Like, what's the situation?
Shouldn't matter.
If
You're stopping the ball. That's
if
your
you
object.
have guys
You and I
literally stopping playing the game. No, I can't.
You and I can have that argument all day, right?
That's
because
not
here's
a-
the thing.
that's a
We're competitive
non-conversation.
naturally, so even if we're losing, we're down by 17 points or 24 points, what we're going to do is we're going to be like, fuck that. If it's at this point, I'm hitting the motherfucker. Because I'm pissed, they're destroying us, right? That'd be mine and your argument. But there are some people's arguments who are like, it's not worth it.
But if it's
I have an
just a
NFL
shoulder-
career ahead of me.
If
It's
it's
not
just a
worth
shoulder
it.
shrug, then
Yeah, but I
no.
mean, it's like.
You ever dislocate a shoulder?
Yes.
No.
It doesn't feel good.
Okay, so my point is, it's not worth the pain if you're going to be drafted.
No.
You know you're not the number one guy. You're going to be drafted anyways. Why would you put
No,
all that
what
much
Steve
time
is
and energy
saying
into it?
is that all he would do is put his shoulder out there to attempt to
He's
stop him.
talking about a single play.
No.
No, he said multiple
plays.
times.
If it
Multiple
was
times.
one play, I would talk about it. But then if he showed, I would have noted, hey, later in the game or in a different game, he was different. Don't see it.
I don't know. He didn't play on the best team.
That's fine. I mean, what was it? Texas A&M?
Mississippi State.
Oh well. Anyway.
Like,
yeah, that was an even worse defense than Texas A&M.
do you see my point though? It's like, I'm good. I'm a great cover guy. We're not going anywhere, so winning is going to automatically murder my draft stock. You could be the best guy on the worst
It's
team,
not
and
one
you're
play.
still
You
not
know
going to be
that,
taking
Ryan.
top 10.
It's not one play. Dude does not play run defense.
I don't know.
not
It
run
sounds like you're talking about one play.
How many times have I said it was two different plays?
I get
At least two different plays.
And he has 700 plays in 1 year.
Doesn't matter. You don't play the game half the time.
Well, so
That's 2 plays. That's not half the time.
You don't commit on the run.
I disagree. Let's move forward. We're not going to get off this one. So we had Deontay Banks. Where's he at?
He's
oh no, we're
6
on.
for you guys.
Oh, so we're on. So no, let's have some
we're on
fun
Porter
here.
now.
We're on Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, let's have some fun here. Why do you hate Joey Porter?
Why do I hate Joey Porter?
Outside of his penalties, which comes with the way he plays corner.
Well, then that's a problem. That is a problem inherently. If the way you play corner is going to be flag heavy, then you don't play corner well. Well, either did Deion
He's saying
or...
Deion took off plays too, I think.
Okay, great. Showtime is
everyone
showtime.
takes plays off. Let's get that clear. But at the same time, with his size, he's like you said, he's probably not going to want to be hurt because, hey, I'm fucking 166 pounds.
That's great. You made a business
and I
decision.
got and I got
understand that.
and I got a
yet
200 plus pound
it's-
running back coming at me.
It's still not.
No, it's that he needs to bulk up and not be a bitch. And that's
Right,
what
and Baker Mayfield's a pussy. I agree with you, Jimmy. Baker Mayfield should have taken multiple plays off because maybe he'd be healthy playing good football today. That would be my argument.
Right.
I don't. I can't get past that. If you're not gonna be a team guy. You're not.
Ryan,
gonna
that's a
sell out.
loaded question.
I mean, yeah, I agree. No, you pay. I agree with
You
that.
pay corners to do their job to stop the player from getting behind you.
When as a cornerback, what is your job? Your job is to, if you're not gonna play the
It's
run,
not to tackle runners.
turn your guy inside.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Turn your dude inside.
Yeah, don't let him get outside of you.
This guy can't do that because he can't get off
Or
the
push
block.
him to the
He can't get
sideline.
off the block.
Or push him
If
to
you
the sideline.
can't even do that, that's fine. You pay him to cover. I agree with that. I gave him all the props in the world because I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. He is a great cover corner until he has to do anything outside of that. It's not low. You still need to do your job. Greedy Williams.
You know
can
what?
tackle.
I
Greedy
think-
Williams.
well, hold on.
Who was touted as not the whole time coming out. Oh, he doesn't tackle.
You know what's
doesn't tackle,
funny
doesn't
about
tackle.
that statement?
That's all right.
It's what he's saying. He's saying it's not important. He's saying that it's lower on the totem pole than covering because if you cover and there's no separation, the
Slow him
quarterback's
down.
not
Yeah, he
throwing
doesn't
that
even do
way.
that.
But the quarterback's not throwing that way if there's zero separation.
Right.
Okay.
That's the
But-
point.
but
If you're
so-
covering and you're in the guy's face, the quarterback sees zero separation. He's not going to throw the ball unless it's a timing play.
Okay, fine.
So Ryan, you say just get in front of him, slow him down.
He did that. That was the play.
But
and he
at
did
the
do
same
it.
time, if you're just putting a shoulder out, that's not really going to slow him down. It's a quick move that a running back or a wide receiver has to
I mean,
make
sure.
Oh, it's Roger Goodell.
in order to make a difference, which isn't going to be much.
It's Roger Goodell's a clown.
I like that shirt.
It's
Can you make her own
Barstool.
shirt like that? He got sued for that too.
Barstool did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
For
right.
that shirt?
Yeah, he got sued for that.
And you're
shirt.
sitting, oh,
Good
great.
deal.
It's going to be a good start to YouTube year.
It's a T-shirt. Whatever.
Sorry, your feelings got hurt, Roger. Nobody likes you anyways. Go jump off a cliff.
Yeah, you're dog shit. All right, so Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, I mean, the penalties are a problem. Like, that's like you.
Why is that a problem?
I don't know.
Is that not coachable?
No, apparently not.
It is coachable.
You are a junior and you still have all these penalties. That's
It
not
is coachable.
Marlon Humphrey. It's
Jordy
not coachable.
Porter
I
is
literally
just-
his
he's too aggressive.
His comp to Draft Network
Too
or his Draft Network comp is Marlon Humphrey, and I said it makes sense because of all the penalties.
Play dirty.
What do you mean? It's not playing dirty. You're bad at your job. You have to hold every play.
He doesn't have to hold.
He does, and yet he does every
He
single
doesn't
play.
have to hold. What
Literally
he does,
grabs and holds every play downfield. I have that in my notes. I watched him.
I watched him.
So
I
anytime
did
he
this.
gets outrun, right? Like,
Yeah.
like cut up, right?
Yeah. Oh,
is your argument.
holding you.
Is your,
I'm
right,
grabbing you.
Right. That's
Badly.
coachable.
I don't think so. You have to.
Then
be
we, as Browns fans, should have the entire secondary fired.
We should. You have to be better at your job.
We just paid our secondary $80 million.
No. Well, yeah, you should. You should. Juan Thornhill's different. I mean, he doesn't. He's not whatever. But like
Denzel Ward does this all the time.
Ward shouldn't have been paid.
We would all probably agree behind this counter on that one. But he is one of the most physical corners coming out of now. He's not the best corner, right? Like, I'm not going to say he's a phenomenal route running corner.
Well,
like, he's not going to stay on your hips
No.
the whole time.
Well, hold on.
That's why he holds, right?
Let me give him some props, okay? So he is talented enough and he is athletic enough to take reps at safety, which he did, right? He has a bunch of skill, right? He has got very good vision in the backfield.
He's too slow for a safety.
4.46.
He's got
4.46.
He doesn't play
He's
a
got
4.46.
stiff hips. The kid's got stiff hips.
He doesn't play a 4.46.
So
He's slower.
This is where I give him props, right? At the line of scrimmage, he has a very good pop in press. He has very, very good press coverage skills. I like that.
Get off the line.
In a man corner. If you're disrupting the route, you know what you're doing? You are giving your, hopefully, very good edge defenders a chance to smoke the quarterback.
Which he could also go to Detroit, just not at 6.
Yes, he could. He could go to Detroit at 18.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
I'm supreme athlete.
Yes.
Okay, so I watched him stop coverage and then come back to cut off a route. He's a good player. He just
I thought you didn't like him.
I don't, but he doesn't believe in himself enough.
Will you take
to
him
not-
over Forbes?
Yes, actually, hands down. I would rather take this guy who will play, who is good.
Johnny, can you
who
put up
has
our
the
rankings
skill.
again? Because I would probably put Porter over Forbes.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah, I mean-
I would too. Let's.
Yeah, I would take Porter over.
Huh.
I mean, like,
So it goes
but
up one.
I guess
You know what? I think Ryan has Forbes high, and
that's-
I think we had Forbes around that area, but
I had him at
somebody
4.
had. I think somebody had Porter way lower,
I had Porter
which
at
might have been
5.
Steve, which is why the ranking is averaged where it's at.
I have. Well,
so it's fine.
Porter's
It's
like
fine.
5
I think you
for
have
me or
Porter at like
something.
9.
This is almost my
No,
exact.
You changed it.
I have Porter at 6. I'm sorry.
You changed it.
No, I didn't change Porter.
Oh, you had Porter at 5.
I
lied.
moved.
You had him at 5.
Battle and Branch down, and I put Brent's
Sorry.
up.
Porter is to me a guy that if you go to a good coaching system, right,
You'll shine.
where he's going to be a stud.
Hey, John,
He's
put the
going
camera
to
on,
be
KJ.
a
So like in New
stud.
England,
My turn for
like
me.
New England.
Joey Porter, with the
Defensive
type of
heavy.
physicality he gives and the ability on the press, he's going to be a stud, especially with a good safety.
Yeah.
And you know what, Ryan? I don't disagree with the Tampa thing because they have a safety. They have
Antonio
Antoine Winfield.
Antoine. I saw
You're just going to
Antoine.
throw out just random A names.
I always say Antonio.
Antoine
I
Winfield.
have a signed card
So
on
I
him.
don't disagree, Ryan. If you got Antoine Winfield, is Josh
Josh.
Norman?
Is that what you're comparing him? Is Josh Norman or is Josh Norman on the team?
Okay.
Okay.
Josh Norman. Yeah, because Josh
Tampa
Norman
2 is
wasn't.
a scheme. I run it.
Yeah,
run it
Josh
back.
Norman wasn't quick either. Josh Norman
No.
was a physical guy. He was an in-your-face kind of corner.
Yeah.
He didn't get called on a lot of his penalties.
Because, except for the one when he speared Odell in the frickin' head.
Well, but Josh Norman was kind of a dirtier guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the job. I like the Marlon Humphreys comp over
I don't think
Josh
Ryan
Norman.
likes it because it's comparing somebody on his team, but I don't like that comp to begin with though because I think Marlon Humphreys is a better corner.
This is hard because I think
Marlon
Porter
Humphreys
can
is better.
hit. Porter can hit though.
Yeah, but Marlon's
and
is better.
So can Marlon.
But Marlon's better in man than Joey Porter.
But
is.
Norman wasn't. I don't think Norman was a big hitter.
No.
Whereas
No,
Marlon
Norman
is.
wasn't- But I get it.
He's a bigger hitter than Norman, and that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yes,
Is like
yes, yes.
is Marlon Humphrey and
Norman wasn't that
and-
big, though.
And Porter can. Or I like the Porter or not the Porter.
I thought Norman
I
was
like
like-
the Norman. Marlon Humphrey comp over Josh Norman.
I thought Josh Norman was like 5'10".
I thought he was
smaller. I thought he was like 5'10",
I don't know.
180.
Every time I hear Josh Norman, I think of
Him and Hotel fighting.
If Joey Porter Jr. can shore up and fix some of the holding, some of the calls,
he likes Porter in Tampa, and I don't disagree with Antoine Winfield in the back.
That'd be good.
I don't disagree. I think that's a very good. The only reason I said Detroit is because Detroit is in a
200
situation
pounds,
where they can take a corner in either spot.
I agree.
And
I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to be there at 18.
And Porter is better man than a lot of these guys. And if you're looking for a press, which our argument is that they're looking for a press corner.
Yep.
I don't know what Okuda was. I wasn't paying too much attention.
Honestly,
and he was always been injured the entire
hurt,
time.
yes.
So it was hard for me
to
say what they lost because they lost Okuda. It's hard for me to say what they lost there. But I think what they need is a guy that can play press.
But so if you look at Okuda stats, and I know we were talking Browns real quick, but Greedy Williams stats, or not Greedy, Grant Delpit stats.
I thought you said Tampa. Oh, Jimmy said Tampa. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, Jimmy. Sorry. Credit where credit dues. I like that.
Would
I like that.
Would
Jimmy.
you like Joey Porter on the Ravens? Do you think he fits, with your defensive scheming and the safeties that are behind him? Would you put him on the Ravens, or would you take somebody else?
What is Tampa 2 as a scheme?
It's a defense. It's a defensive scheme.
Someone got to explain that one to me. I don't know what that means.
It's two high safeties.
It's two high safeties, and you play, was it 3 corners?
I think so.
Corners?
John, go ahead and put the camera on me.
It's a lot of coverage.
Give me that close-up. I'm ready for my close-up.
It's a lot of
Joey Porter Jr. could be the best corner in this draft.
If he was the right team.
If he fixes his penalties. He will be the best corner in this draft if he stops getting called for his penalties. He is, in my opinion, better than Witherspoon and Gonzalez.
Okay. I like that too.
If he fixes his penalties.
Oh, I agree.
I like the anti.
Yeah, but the
he's only where he is.
But see, I agree with you because his penalties is part of the way he plays.
Yep.
He plays a very physical guy, and sometimes in this situation, sometimes in this situation, right? A lot of the penalties he's getting called on is just beyond 5 yards.
So going off of that,
it's just beyond 5 yards. It's not always PIs. It's not always downfield.
It's downfield often.
So this was the thing we were talking about with safeties. You guys don't like aggressive safeties.
You want Banks?
So do you like aggressive corners or no?
Yes.
No, I guess
so,
not you. Yeah, I already down
So
too.
you like aggressive corners, but you're not a huge fan of Joey.
Well, see
That's the trade-off. Though.
If
the
you heard me
trade-off
talk
is
about
you're
this
gonna
guy,
get
Let's go to the
penalties.
next guy because I think we can argue that at the end because
Okay.
we
Yeah, I was
all
upstairs,
have
my
had a
bad, Bruce.
hierarchy difference and it's based on aggression.
So are we confirming that Joey Porter is higher
Above
than Emmanuel
Forbes?
Forbes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can all put Porter above Forbes, but Forbes only drops one spot.
I think Deontay.
Right. I'm just
because I'm going to tell you right now,
Forbes he's dead last for me. So
Forbes Forbes coverage wise, you've even said it yourself, is one of the best cover corners coming out of his class.
I agree, but he's
so.
I already said high.
Okay.
So we're going to put Forbes at 4. Just leave him at 4.
Well,
That's fine. That works. Let's go to. We already talked about Clark Phillips.
Let's talk Deontay.
Yeah, let's go to 6. Let's go Deontay, which is who Ryan said.
That Ryan's high on, and I like him a lot too because he is my 3.
I did not. I don't know. I don't know what it was about Banks. It's too much cushion in zone, but I guess that's kind of like funny because that's what zone is. And I didn't think that
we need a Captain Obvious.
I think it was a lot of effort issues. So like,
fuck me.
He could put a little more ass into getting to the ball carrier when he's away from the plate. Like he just took plays off.
I didn't see that. So with Deontay he is what you guys didn't like in Gonzalez. He's a guy who's a great tackler, great coverage corner, run defense is whatever. But he's an outside corner that sinks into his hips and can turn and burn to get with a guy.
I take that back.
He can bully a guy off the line.
I'm reading my notes. Like
he bullies a guy off the line. I see why Ryan wants him because he is the dude's a dog. He's an aggressive corner on the line.
He is a good coverage
sticks with
corner.
his man and just goes. And that's what the Ravens need.
But Ryan said corners don't get paid to tackle.
Yeah, you said they don't get paid to tackle.
They get paid to cover.
Whatever.
But that's why Deontay. That's what Deontay's good at is tackling.
There's a difference between missing a tackle and then not getting.
He's not getting paid though. He's going.
So that's a joke you're gonna make. That's a piss poor joke.
So as much as I hate giving the Ravens prop, the Ravens are very smart in the way they spend their money.
Yes, they
are
always
very
have been.
smart.
Always have
Out of
been.
all the teams in the AFC North, they are the smartest about the ways they spend money.
I agree.
I don't.
Why?
Who's smarter?
The Steelers are hands down smarter than the Ravens.
I would say I don't know.
The Steelers don't pay receivers.
Well, the Steelers don't draft
They don't
good
have
receivers.
The Ravens used to
outside
not
of
pay
AB.
receivers until
Yet the Ravens
2 days ago.
This is the thing, though. The Ravens have still stayed competitive.
Yeah.
Year in,
The
year out.
Steelers don't stay competitive. They just
not-
drafted a quarterback.
I'm not
And they
saying-
were the third best
If
team.
you let me finish instead of talking over me, I could finish my take.
You said they don't stay competitive. That's the only team that's never been under 500 since they've had a coach.
All he said was that they're
I'm so
the best
tired of
team
that
with their
frickin'
money.
take. It's such a lazy take.
How is that a lazy take?
Because half the time.
What is your job to do? What is your job to do as a coach?
Let's
Win
talk,
games.
Let's go down to the next guy.
We're on Banks.
Yeah, let's just talk Banks. So you were saying that he's very good in man coverage. I think he is very good in
He's
man
good in
coverage.
zone, is where I have him. He's good in man, but he shines in zone, from what I see.
Really? I thought press man is his bread and butter.
So
That's
press-
what I had.
Breaking news about Lamar.
Oh, did he?
Define press man.
Really?
Why don't you message that to
press
me
coverage.
before you go any
Press
further?
man is
Like
his bread and butter.
Like me to you. We're right here.
He
Okay.
excels in press coverage. In press man, right?
So he's right
very
up with
tight
it, dude.
man. He's strong contesting the ball. He keeps contained. He stays home
Yeah.
against the run.
He doesn't
I like that.
He doesn't over pursue. He had his combine catapulted him,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I mean, he's got an okay size.
The
6
dude's
foot,
got
197.
the dude's
That's not
drive
bad.
is next to none.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
I
And
like him.
He has no quit in him. He's got a heart for football, and
wonder-
that's what he wants to do.
I wonder
and
why
those
I
are the
put that
guys you
down.
want to draft.
You know, it's though.
I think he's going to be an early second round pick.
You know what's funny with the Deontay Banks?
I have him as a first.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everywhere across Deontay Banks, like this Maryland team, where were they? Because there's a lot of players on this team
I agree.
that are ranked high. But what did
Their
they
offense
do?
is bad.
What did they do? Yeah, but defenses can win games.
Tagovailoa's brother's not great.
I would agree with that.
I think he actually held them back a little bit. I'm being honest.
But I don't know. I like Deontay Banks. I just
No way. Is that really the rumor? I'm sorry.
That's been going on actually for like 3 weeks.
Get D-Hop and Odell, and we'll talk. This dude is a flippin' loser.
They actually there's proof. There's rumors out there. Sorry guys, this is off topic. But there's rumors out there right now, which I was gonna say at the beginning of the show. I just wanted a little bit of credibility. And actually, Adam did text me this.
Oh yeah.
Is that
Adam the insider? Is that? Oh
Did
my
he tell
God.
you to lose his number? Like Rogers?
Adam did text? No, it's not Ryan, but that's funny.
Shit.
Adam did text me this, that with the Odell signing, that there's something in the works, and this was said on another podcast. I can't remember. There was a cornerback, Darius Slay. Darius Slay actually said that he's heard some things from the Ravens inside camp. He can't say it yet, but I think everybody knows it's D-Hop.
Darius Slay?
Darius Slay said
He's
it.
not even on the
from-
Ravens.
No,
the
but
Eagles?
he was talking to people within that organization because there was a possibility of him
Okay.
going to the Ravens.
That would have been deadly.
But that, and I think everybody thinks because they actually. So
31.
this is so off topic.
That's
I
fine.
apologize, guys. Cortland Sutton, the Ravens tried to get Cortland Sutton,
I mean, yeah, it's a good.
and
my God.
and Odell was the guy they landed on. Both guys were gonna be worth $18 million.
Hold the L.
Okay. So both guys were going to be worth $18 million, but the Ravens, the Denver backed out of the pick with
man.
Portland because I don't know why. And then the Ravens probably win on that deal because they didn't have to give up a draft pick, right? Because if you're going to go get Cortland, you're going to need to trade something.
Yeah.
And you're still going to pay $18 million.
Damn.
I would prefer Cortland over Odell personally. But you got Odell. Okay, so moving forward, they were all in on getting another receiver. They were pulling a Eagles situation.
So they're trying to-
going out there
yeah.
to just get nothing but receivers, and I think they're going to let other things fall to the wayside, and they will not draft a receiver this year based on what I'm seeing. But
Depending on
DeAndre
what drafts
Hopkins,
they have.
I think they're in a situation where they're going to wait for D-Hop to get cut.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
Odell's probably.
Or-
And then they're gonna have to be the highest bidder.
Or and they have the money to do it. Or they're in a situation where they see if they can trade a fifth for D-Hop. But I think everybody needs the Cardinals to get off their damn high horse with D-Hop because everybody thinks that the Cardinals asking for a second or a third for D-Hop is absurd.
It is absurd.
But that is the rumors going on around the league right now on the inside that D-Hop and Odell will be wide receiver 1 and 2
Splash move.
for the Ravens. So they're not broke, Ryan. They have money. You gotta
I don't know.
look in depth in what they've got going on their on their contracts right
If
now.
Deontay Banks falls to the second, I think that he's a good fit in Baltimore.
He's a first round.
So sorry,
I'm just
sorry
saying,
about that
I
off the
have him
top.
as a second.
I get it.
I mean, like
Early
but,
second.
But like I said, I like his overall
Fluid,
play.
Ryan, fluid.
I would take him hands down over Emmanuel Forbes based on effort and based on you're a good teammate.
I like Deontay Banks.
I like him too.
I just don't like that team, and I don't know if that's the reason.
That's
he
why I
shined.
hated him so
I don't
much.
know if that's the
because of
reason he
Maryland.
shined.
That's why. That's it.
And for some reason, everybody on that defense shined this year. And there's a lot of defensive players that shined on that team this year. And there was offensive linemen that shined on that team this year. So it's one of those things. This team worries me because they're never usually this high with these players, and we're putting a corner at top 5. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
6. Banks is 6 in our rankings.
Well, yeah, it's 5 for everybody else. So, but that's fine.
I think I had Banks at 7. Yeah, but that
Banks
was I
is
had
3
safeties.
for me.
So like, yeah, he'd be 6 for me. Anyway, John, print up our rankings again, please.
I think Julius
Cam
Brents,
Smith.
no.
Cam Smith.
I would have Cam Smith at 4.
I
Cam Smith is
had nope, didn't like him.
I said he has great length
Out
and
of South
speed,
Carolina, I lied. I did like him.
and he held Hyatt to 65 total yards in the game that they played against him. He can play in the slot or outside depending on the need for him. I think he's another guy that can stay with a wide receiver stride for stride and plays very well in zone coverage, while he can use some polishing and playing man.
I think Cam Smith is probably one of your most versatile corners coming out of this draft.
He can play anywhere on the
But he's
No, why?
Why?
Why do you think he's versatile?
Because he's actually okay in the press. Like he can actually play on the press.
Yeah.
He's also
I will see you back in a bit, possibly.
good luck at work.
See ya, buddy.
Good luck, have fun.
He also is very decent in zone. I think his only issues is the double move. In my mind, is he does get bit sometimes on double moves. But if you go to a team that has a good ability to rush the passer, it's not a big deal.
And that's my thing with the double move about the man coverage, is where you can use a little bit polishing up.
Okay. I like to see. I thought he had very good vision in zone.
Get that out of your hand.
What?
So get that out of your hand.
Wow, what's wrong with this? What this?
Well, he's finishing it. He's trying to clear my fridges.
What am I doing?
You're doing
yeah. I
God's
know,
work.
Well,
it
to
is
be
what it
honest,
is.
I almost grabbed you a wig.
You're doing God's work.
What?
Do you feel any different after drinking that?
I almost,
This
dude,
is
just
talk,
I
this
wanted
is talk after the show.
I wanted to do a TikTok
I feel
of
like
me drinking a Busch Light or a Bud Light, and then all of a sudden I turn into a woman. I wanted to do a TikTok. I thought it'd be hilarious.
All right, go on. I'm sorry.
Anyway, no, it's okay. You know what? You actually threw me off with that. I didn't realize that what it was, and now I'm gay. Anyway,
Just now?
just now I like men.
now? Okay.
Just now I like penis.
Okay.
Cam Smith, he played safety on a couple reps, and he ball hawked a pick against Clemson in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that a lot because it in my opinion, versatile. It plays to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think it plays to a lot of why I ranked these guys the way I did.
He's a sleeper pick in this draft.
I think so.
Because he's not ranked that
Now-
high for everybody.
He's a second round guy for me.
He is. I have him in the early third, right?
He might be in the
But-
third. If he goes in the third, I think he's great.
I do too. I think he's going to be a value pick
Yep.
in the third. In the
Time
third.
to Cleveland.
So I wouldn't hate that. Now I did say so. I watched him play against Tennessee, and Tillman
Game I watched.
smoked this dude. Tillman rocked this guy.
But
Cedric Tillman.
But Tillman's a downfield kind of guy,
Yeah,
like
he's
one
the
cut
same.
downfield.
That's not entirely true. Tillman
And-
was playing underneath and getting this dude.
And did he not play with Hendon Hooker, who we probably have as the second best quarterback? in
Yeah,
the
I mean,
draft?
arguably the one.
He is the
so
second
I
best
agree, but
quarterback
this
in the
was a lot
draft.
of Tillman. It wasn't. I mean, it was just good play, right?
I'm just saying.
He just
Like, we have Hendon Hooker ranked so high, and now people are talking on the news, by the way. Fuck you, NFL Network. They've
Yeah,
got
they're-
Hendon Hooker going in the
they're a
first round.
day late.
That's right. We had it first.
They're a day late and a dollar short every time.
Every time we're there first. Every time. You want actual good reporting. You want actual good takes. People, we've been talking about this.
I think they have
months.
storylines. I think they have
Months.
storylines. I think they go, okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to slowly just come this way, and then slowly go a little further. I think they have storylines.
Yeah, well, if you want to be right and you want to be right first, come watch
there's
us.
a script, KJ.
Come watch us.
There might be a script.
Anyway,
Might be.
it depends on where you value Cedric Tillman. Is what I'm getting at.
Tillman only had 95 yards.
I value Cedric Tillman only. I value Cedric Tillman
Or
higher,
81, I'm sorry.
higher than a lot of these guys do. So that's my opinion. I like Tillman a lot. I don't hate Cam Smith, but I thought that Tillman was holding his bag. That's all. Anyway,
I mean, you didn't tell me much there, though.
He's not much help in the run game. I said he's got good vision. He's a good player. He's going to be a good corner. To me, this is what a corner is. He's 6 foot, 180.
Corner.
Quiet corner. Guy that you're not going to hear about. He's just going to do his job, go to work every day.
That's my opinion.
So
And I'll take that guy.
He's not much help in the run game, which I do not expect my corner to be. But effort is there.
Huh?
He tries.
You would take a guy like that because we already have one in Cleveland. Nick Chubb.
A quiet guy? Amari Cooper.
That too.
Amari Cooper, yeah.
But
Our entire team is made up of quiet offensive players.
Myles Garrett, another quiet guy.
Nah, Miles, he's got
He
mouth.
used
He's
to
got
be
mouth in a
quiet.
couple
He
years.
used to be quiet.
Until he starts crashing his car. Dumbass.
No, he used to be quiet. I think until the team requested a defensive captain, that's when he started showing up.
Yeah.
He used to be quiet. I mean, Perrion Winfrey did the complete opposite. Perrion Winfrey didn't shut the fuck up, and now he's going to be fucking in jail over stupid shit.
I don't think he's going to jail now.
But go ahead.
No, that's it.
Do you have anything on Cam? You didn't have anything?
I already said pretty much. I think he's another guy. He's a value pick in the later rounds because he's, like you said, versatile. He can play slot in the zone outside. Can use some help man. But what do we have next on our rankings?
I like Tyreek Stevenson.
I did not watch Tyreek Stevenson.
This is a Steve one right
Stevenson's actually 4 for me. So
This is why he ranked here.
I know why you have him because you love
this
the
is
D of
not Miami.
Listen, I love him. I watched him first, and I didn't like him, and then I went back and I watched some of his stuff, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you watched him too much.
I watched.
You forced yourself to like.
You forced yourself to like a guy out of the team.
I saw a bad game, and then I saw a good game of what it should be, and then I watched the game against better talent.
So his
like, okay.
potential is there.
Yeah, I agree. I think his ceiling's higher than what I thought initially.
Where is he lacking?
He would be the value pick.
Where is he lacking?
He's susceptible to a double move.
So like him.
So like, what's that dude in Dallas?
Trayvon.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs.
Yep. He's not great against the run. He's piss poor against the run. He's susceptible to a double move. His game speed's faster than his 4.45.
How's he on the press?
Sticky man coverage. I didn't see him in press. I didn't see him press.
Okay, so he's a zone guy that's susceptible to double move.
But he's sticky in man. He's susceptible to double. Which tells me he gets flat-footed, right? And that's what that says.
Yeah.
He shows effort in run game. I even commented on that.
Or
so
he
that
bites.
tells me.
Or he bites. On the first
But
cut.
he could shed blocks though. So he's got long arms and he's stronger for a corner. So he can shed blocks. So he can be of use. He can at least turn guys inside.
Because I'm shocked you have this guy ranked this high because that defense was not that good this year.
No, they're bad. So that tells you that he had at least some spots.
Okay. All right. We'll move on from here, I think, because I don't think any of us had anything on Tyreek.
No, I have a guy that I'd like to just.
We're going to have to go back and look at
Who do you like
Tyreek.
better?
Everybody else on this
Miles
ranking.
Brooks.
I didn't watch Miles Brooks.
Oh, yeah, you had another guy
LA
up there
Tech.
high that nobody else had.
Yeah, so Miles Brooks, a guy out of LA Tech that I like a lot. He's a very physical
That's
corner.
what you're talking about.
With he's got physical corner, good hips, has great rotation on his hips and coverage. Can
He's
stay
like
with the
18,
guy
Johnny.
man for man. He went to a smaller school, LA Tech. Not talked about a lot. He has very good anticipations for
Probably
routes and the
sponsored
ball.
with Bud Light.
And he has well-rounded coverage. And
I bet we could get that
one
sponsorship right
one
now.
thing that I did like about him is he had better
straight.
block shedding than some of the other guys in this draft.
You okay?
You said Miles Brooks?
Yes.
Miles Brooks, he's LA Tech,
So he's got good block shedding.
and he has very good closing speeds, and has takes great angles to get to a guy at his beat. But he doesn't get beat much.
He kind of looks like Lamar Jackson.
He does.
He does. It's the forehead.
It is
Now this is my value.
And the
pick.
eyebrows.
This is a guy who I can see going in like.
And the chin strap.
I have him. He should
Yes.
be
He
taken
just
late.
looks like
He
Lamar
should be
with
taken
short
late
hair.
second, but I think he'd be third.
Third? Really? You think he can go as high as late second?
I like him a lot.
Oh wow.
You know what we're gonna do?
Okay.
We're gonna have a show that's gonna be pre-draft, and we're gonna have some fun with like our mocks and stuff like that.
We're still doing a pre-draft show.
I think we're gonna do a show Wednesday, and I think we're
Well, no,
or
Ryan's
Thursday.
not
Was
gonna
it
be
early
either.
Thursday?
Yeah,
Was it early Thursday.
I thought we were gonna.
It'd be an hour
we're still gonna do
before
a show
the
Wednesday.
draft starts for us to do our mock.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we could do. It's up to you guys. But
okay,
I was just saying pre-draft. Anything, it's gonna be pre-draft, and I want to see because you guys, your rankings on some of these players, I think are absurd.
Did you
watch Miles Brooks?
Hold on. So you don't like his
I
ranking?
know enough about Miles Brooks to see that he's going to be a value pick, but nobody else is ranking him there, so he's not going to get taken there because the value's not there.
So let me talk about this. Nobody else was also ranking Hendon Hooker where he was. Nobody else was ranking Xavier Hutchinson where he was.
Yeah, but we were
gotta come out.
We were hyped on these guys.
On the table to be right. Oh. We've been right multiple times.
We were hyped on these. We haven't been right. First off, we haven't been right yet because nobody's played.
That's all right.
We could be wrong.
It's fine.
Second off,
I'll take it on the chin. I don't.
We were talking about these guys 2 months ago.
Yeah.
We're now almost at draft.
Yep.
There's no being right at this point. We're 2 weeks from the draft.
It's the consistency.
It's only a matter of time. Yeah, we're the most consistent. The NFL is inconsistent. Yeah. All I'm saying is that it's not about being right at the value in the pick. It's about if I am one of 32 teams that ranks this guy and I rank him at a second and everybody else ranks him at a fifth, why should I reach? Why?
Okay,
nobody else sees him there.
I guess
just his ability.
We see the Hendon Hooker at 1. We think Hendon Hooker should be taken in the top 10 because he's the best quarterback or second best quarterback, right?
Not New England.
Well, New England might reach for a third round guy.
I didn't hear what New England said.
Well, they reached for a third round guy in the first.
He's talking about the offensive lineman they drafted.
And then they did the same thing in the second. They reached for a guy that was a fifth round prospect.
But my point is that that's what you have to see is that where do the other 31 teams have him valued?
This is my thing.
And he's not valued in a first or second or a third round.
That's
my point.
I've never been ADP. I've never been good.
I haven't either. Yeah.
That's one thing I suck at. And I've said that time and time again.
I guess my argument would be then if this is where we view guys, right? We're ranking these guys here because this is the value we see. So even if they go drafted in the fifth, but if they play well and their value was a second, we're still right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So Martin Emerson, in my opinion,
we're more accurate.
He was a top 10 guy. He was my 10th corner last year.
He would have been a second round pick.
Yeah. And he got drafted in the third, I think.
That's a value. So if I said, I thought his value was a late first, early second.
It's
winner.
I'm not
me and Ryan have Travius Hodges-Tomlinson in our top 10. And I told you from the beginning of the year, this is one of the kids out of TCU that I think is going to be a good player. Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, and he's only 5'9", 5'8". He's small. He's not a big guy. But I think when you look at the way he covers and you look at his hips and you look how fluid he has played very well all season. And that defense played very well most of the year.
We should be taking shots. We said hips a lot. We'd be hammered. We would be hammered.
Hips.
Well, that's what Jimmy said.
I like Travius Hodges-Tomlinson. I think he was on a good defense, but his secondary. Who
was good on his defense?
Nobody.
He was on a good defense, but he was the sole guy who stuck out in the secondary.
Okay.
On a team that went to the championship.
Hey, like I said, if you let me finish what I'm saying...
I stopped. Did I not stop? Did I not stop?
Interrupting me, I can say it.
I don't know. You paused for a while.
You paused for a solid minute.
Because you started talking. I'm not going to...
No, I didn't. You literally stopped for 10 seconds, and then I said on a team that went to the championship, because Travius Hodges-Tomlinson is the only team, probably the only person on that defense that you could name.
Yes.
That's got to tell you something.
That's why I like him, though. I said I like the kid.
He did say he shined on a defense.
He shined on a defense that had nobody else.
I personally didn't think
quit pausing like an autistic kid, and I wouldn't interrupt you all the time.
He's not full autistic, okay?
Just half.
Hold on. Who else we got? We'll go back
so
to
the actual person in our rankings that's next is Keely Ringo.
Oh my God,
Kelly.
So Kelly Ringo, I wasn't a huge fan of because I think he has trouble off the line and staying with his man downfield. He gets out of position a lot. He over pursues. He doesn't take very good angles to get to a guy.
Thanks, John. You go back to him. Thank you.
His closing speed is a little concerning for me.
Yeah, I didn't like Ringo at all.
His closing speed is what he's good at. It's the fact that he's not fluid in the hips.
But he doesn't take good angles.
But he has closing speed. He can get to you. That's not the issue.
He has high football IQ, and that's it for pros.
So high football IQ.
He's got good speed too.
He's smart. I mean, 4.36. Okay, great. If you're fast, but you can't do anything with it.
He's not.
Well, he can. That's what he depends on. Remember how you said the one guy relies on his size, and that's all he relies on. He relies on his speed.
But he's also 6'2", 207.
So
he's a massive corner.
He's 6'1".
That's 6'2". That's
what?
Combine measurements.
That's my bad. So he was taller. I'm sorry, I did not correct mine. That's my bad.
I was going to say that's combine measurements.
Dick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Inches matter. Okay, ask my wife.
Yeah, they do. Ask mine.
All right. So for my cons, I didn't care for him.
Centimeters. She only measures in metric. Makes her feel better.
Millimeters. Millimeter.
I'm 13 centimeters long.
I didn't like him,
That's like 4
and
inches,
I
bro.
was fully, after Ryan said he loved Ringo, I was like, I love his size. I really like this guy. He's coming off of a good team. That
He's a
puts out
prototypical big corner.
good talent. I was so disappointed that it shattered all my
threw up
dreams.
watching.
I almost yacked my guts up on my dogs.
I'm gonna defend Ryan here
not good.
because
He's not
Ryan
good.
was very high on him, and he's come down and over the last couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
Ryan was
definitely.
high on him
I would like to-
during the
Ryan-
season.
I would
During
like-
the season.
I
Yeah,
would-
but the
even
more he
then,
watched
though,
of him, he's come down.
I
So
would like to
Ryan does
know-
not have him that as high as we thought. He think he does.
I
He's
hope
come
he
down.
jumps back in chat. I would like to know
He's not
what
gonna-
had
Not,
him.
not by the time we're done.
I would like to know why he was so high. Why?
His
What-
catch-up speed.
But even then, he's late to the receiver. He can't shed blocks. He plays soft off.
Well, that's why when you
off
said
his
high
man.
IQ, kind of blew my mind because it's not this defense. This whole defense came alive because of one man, and we all know the one man.
Jalen Carter.
Yeah, he got to the passer so quick that all of these corners should be top 10 corners because all you had to do was stay on their hips for a solid 2.5 seconds, and boom, quarterback sack.
You know what's funny?
That's
Cedric
pretty much what you want the trait to do.
Cedric Tillman cooked this dude too. That's funny. That's I guess
Cedric Tillman did cook his
maybe I just like Tillman because I know I like him, right? But when I watch these games, and I watched a lot of Tennessee this year because they were showing up on both
They
sides
have a
of the
lot
ball.
of talent all over.
They have a lot
all
of
over
talent.
the
Darnell
ball.
Wright is a first
They
round pick.
revitalized his
Darnell
passion
Wright
for
might
Tennessee.
be the first
I've-
tackle taken.
No, I'm talking Steve.
Oh, sorry.
What
I've been
happened?
fan
I said you watched a lot of Tennessee this year because they revitalized your.
He knows I've been a fan.
Listen,
of
man,
Tennessee
I'm a
for
lifelong
while,
Vols
too.
fan. Anyway,
So you know I've been a Vols.
And you know what's funny is I actually think Ryan had Kelly Ringo at 9 also. So I think we all ranked him at 9. And
Like
then
I said, he's come
that
down.
was our average. For him.
I have him way down there. I think that's why he's 9. Right? He's not higher. I have him at 14.
You had him at 9.
I have him at 14.
You had him at 9.
He's 14.
You
He was 13.
had him at 9.
He was
All right, let's move on. Who's
Yeah,
the next
our
rank?
You
last
had him
guy-
at 9.
for corners.
Our last
yeah,
guy.
Julian Brents.
Eli Ricks, yeah.
Julius Brents.
Our
Sorry,
last
he had
guy-
him at 14, including safeties. I apologize.
Our last guy before right. Our last guy before we end the show is Julius Brents.
All right.
This is Ryan's guy, and
See, I like Brent's
he's
too.
not here.
I think this is Ryan.
Ryan had him in his top 5, I think.
I have Brent's at, I guess that would be 7. Just beyond Banks.
Yeah, so tell me why you like Brent so much.
Well-
This is another team that shined all year.
So 6'3", 198,
His size for me.
4.53 40.
Like I said, I like bigger dudes.
That's
know
what
you
she
do.
said.
We know you do. You tell me every night.
Is that why you walk in my house backwards?
Yes.
Yes.
So so this is literally so with Julius Brents, I have a very big defensive back, plays with that to his
say
advantage
black?
as a monster all over the line. Coverage can line up almost anywhere to make an impact. Shines in the box. Can be used as a
Black man
blitzer.
shines in the box.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
His hips every
another
so
beer.
often tend to get stiff while changing his positioning on the ball or directions.
Now he's stiff.
Seem to always be at the point of attack and gets his hands in the mix to make a play at the ball.
Is there any not perverted way to talk about a corner covering a ball who's stiff at the hips?
After we just went, down that rabbit hole.
No.
Bunny hole. Sorry.
His size allows
Now
him to be
rabbits are bigger than
fearless
bunnies.
when tackling. So even as a corner, I think that actually a position change might be in his future, if I'm being honest.
To what? Linebacker?
Safety.
Safety.
He's not afraid to get dirty in the run game. Above all,
I just think it's funny. We both said linebacker because of his size. He's too big. I think he's too big to be a safety.
Yeah, I do too.
Holy
he's
cow.
tall, but
You
he's
put
fast
on
enough to
10
catch up.
pounds, 10, 15 pounds, you can be a linebacker in a heartbeat.
He
Oh
could.
my god.
I mean, he
JOK is like 220.
yeah, he'll be fine.
But I think JOK is only
I think Brent's is going to be a
5'11",
value pick.
6'4".
Actually, I think he's going to be a value pick in like probably the 5th.
I like Brents. I like Julius.
I think he's gonna end up being on a team. He's gonna beat out somebody. I really like his game. I also don't like that Quentin Johnson. He had his way, but Quentin Johnson also was cheating. By cheating, I mean pushing off. Like he was handsy to the point of
You don't get that.
you don't get that call.
NFL, they
He
call
wasn't
that
getting that.
day
So
one.
it's and he can be too aggressive in the run game to where he loses that edge.
Yeah.
Right? So like he'll shed blocks and then he'll be like, "Oh, where's happened?" And he commits too much.
Yeah.
I was going to agree with you on that because I think that's what he does. Is there's an over pursuit
And
on his end of the game.
his worst attribute is his piss poor ball tracking deep though. He cannot do it.
I'm not asking him
And
to do
that's
that.
where I say he gets stiff in the hips when he's changing direction
And
or
that's-
looking for the ball.
But
He's 6'3".
he is 6'3". But when he can play off the line and read the play, he ball hawks.
Yeah.
He can do it. That's why I think safety is going to
Just
work.
trade-off.
How is he impressed?
Well, hold on. How would safety work if?
Because he can see it happening. He's not.
But you
He's
just
not.
said
He's not.
man in
He's not
coverage.
thrown off. When he can play, I just said when he plays off the line in zone, he can ball.
Safeties are more zone. than
He
man.
sees what
Right.
happens. He
He'd be a
watches.
strong
Good vision.
safety.
Good vision.
Well, you say
He'd be a free
play
safety.
off
He'd be a
the
free
line.
safety.
I'm thinking
Yeah, I
like
guess he'd be-
as a free safety.
He'd be a free safety.
Yeah,
He'd be
not
a
strong
big free safety.
Not a strong safety or
He
Not,
could, but I think
strong safeties playing in the box and off the line.
he
It's just
can-
about how they play.
It depends on what his
Yeah.
role is that play.
Yeah.
I would say bad eyesight like me.
But I mean, honestly, his ball,
glasses like Rick
tracking.
Vaughn.
I'm watching him play. I'm like, man, God, he's got the eyes of Sarah. Sarah's got dog shit eyes, man. I hope Myra does not have her vision.
But my thing
Holy
is,
shit.
how does he play on press?
So in press he plays tight, but then he doesn't look back. He focuses too much on the receiver. And
No.
that's what
How about at the
Johnson-
line? Is he a fighter?
Yeah,
His hand fighting is bad. He is poor.
Okay, so he gets beat on the first cut.
Yeah.
He's first.
This
cut
sounds
down.
like somebody else you just described to me in the top 5.
Who?
Christian Gonzalez. There it is.
Does he have that ceiling?
Christian Gonzalez ceiling? I don't think so. Not at a corner, no. I genuinely think he is a better deep safety.
Who Gonzalez?
But everything you said about Brent's, you said just about Christian Gonzalez. What
Uh,
makes those two different?
I didn't really see Christian Gonzalez in the run game, the effort and all that. I like Gonzalez a lot more than Brent's. I think Gonzalez is going to be
What
better.
separates those two is what I'm asking.
What separates them?
Yeah.
So Gonzalez is better. He's better hand fighting.
Exactly.
But you hated Gonzalez at the
Play the
line.
receiver, not the ball. You watch the
Gonzalez-
receiver's
so
eyes to go
Gonzalez
after the ball
didn't
when
hand fight.
needed.
That's right.
Gonzalez didn't do it at all.
That's what I'm
Brent's
asking.
Is bad at it, and then he gets lost. He gets left. Gonzalez at least
Has the
makes
catch-up
up.
speed.
Brent's,
Okay.
Brent's does not.
So the difference is the fact that Gonzalez is capable of playing after
yeah.
the line,
And
whereas
Gonzalez has better ball tracking.
As-
Gonzalez, he can run with this guy and keep eyes on, and then, like I said,
Good
he,
periffs, good periffs.
He
He's
changed
a-
direction mid-play to make a tackle.
He's a
Yeah.
solid.
This dude fell on his
so that's
ass.
the
Solid
separation.
corner.
Yes.
That's the separation between the
He's a
two is the
solid
fact
corner.
that he can actually get downfield and he's got good fluid.
Listen, I like Brent's. Hold on. Do not attack me here. I like Brent's, okay? But overall, I'm definitely going Gonzalez over Brent.
So Ryan, I'm going to ask
think
you right
Brent's is a
now,
better
Ryan,
safety
what's
deep.
the difference?
He's a
What
better-
separates Brent's from Gonzalez? Because everything Steve just told me about Brent's, which I don't disagree with, everything you told me about Brent's, you also said about Gonzalez outside of the ball tracking. You said Brent's is not a good ball
I
tracker.
have noted it needs to be more physical in press. Okay, so
Gonzalez-
But Gonzalez
outside-
also, you said, didn't play press at all.
he didn't play. I did.
Gonzalez outshined Brent's day and night.
Yes.
Day and
Well,
night.
I-
It's not
well,
even
But
different.
you just bought this dude's jersey.
The question
His college
is,
jersey. So I know you.
the
like
question is what separates the two. That's the question. And Ryan says catch-up speed. So there's outside of catch-up speed.
I disagree with physicality. I mean, at least Brent's tries. Gonzalez didn't even try.
Okay, I was gonna say outside of catch-up speed, you guys aren't telling me too much different. Physicality, Steve says neither are physical.
Better cover. Whoa.
So better.
Gonzalez is a better cover.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, hands down. Cannot
Okay.
deny that.
Okay, well, a lot of the tangibles you gave me
how
were
does it-
almost consistently the
does
same.
How does it sound? It sounds Gonzalez. It looks more natural. It
Okay.
looks.
Yeah.
I genuinely.
So one's
when
trained and
when I
one's-
watch Brent's, I watch a dude that I think is actually playing out of position.
Okay.
That's why I keep
So
going back
he's
to safety.
uncomfortable, okay.
When he can watch it happen and make his own moves and make his own decisions, he plays so good.
Okay.
That's why I think free safety, playing deep, or sitting in his zone somewhere, he's gonna be fine.
So I have
Genuinely.
a question for you guys now because
Or he can play box. He's a better safety. He's better suited for safety, in my
So I
opinion.
have a question for you guys because we were talking about this almost the whole time, and I know we're coming to the close of the show and everything.
Yeah.
But what do you value more at the corner position? Is it aggression or is it security?
Security, personally.
They're playing defense.
Wait.
Yeah, security.
Nickel corner. That's a great.
I think
Yeah,
he's
that's
saying
A third
Brent's
corner
is
like a
nickel
slot
corner.
guy? I don't think so. There's no way. He doesn't have the catch up. He can't do that.
But what do you value more when you're drafting in the first round? Do you value aggression? So a guy that you know is going to make the
Security.
hit or make the big play, or he's going to be continuously fighting every single play to get that ball? Or do you take a guy that you're never going to hear from, but no one throws his way for the simple fact that he's always doing his job? So security or
the
aggression?
latter.
Well, how you just described the
latter.
first guy would also be the one that makes sure that.
Well, the
they're
first
never
guy is
thrown
going to
away.
take away the ball and try to hit the house.
But no, the problem with that is, what do we always complain about when we watch Browns games? They're always punching at the ball. That's the guys that are.
I do not complain
I
about
hate
that.
That's because he
fucking hate it.
hates because he knows Ward does it.
I don't
No,
complain.
I
Ward also has the more turnovers, and I think he has more pick sixes than anybody else on our team.
Yeah, when he's
I
on
don't
the
hate
field
it.
and doesn't miss 4 games a year.
I mean,
I'll take Gonzalez
hold
into
on.
security all
So
day long
let's-
over an aggressive guy. Just for what you said, the latter of him
So
not
based
throwing
on what I saw, was
He
four.
likes security over aggression.
So I guess I was so appalled. So let's just go to Emmanuel Forbes, right? Because that's the argument. He is the player for this argument.
Well, I think,
and it wasn't that he wasn't doing his
It's not
job.
even
I
him.
value coverage over that. I
it's not
value
even
coverage.
him.
It's effort.
It's your Antonio
It's-
Johnson and your Brian Branch argument, right? Because I think Brian Branch is a security guy, and Antonio is the one that's going to be a little more aggressive. So which safety would you take in that situation?
I
You
would
like
take Johnson.
Antonio.
I like Johnson.
You valued him higher,
Yeah.
but I believe that Brian Branch is the secure pick. He's not going to let the ball go over his head. That's my argument.
No, that's fair.
So I like now maybe
So he's not going to give up the deep play.
Right.
I like that because I think
as a
that's
safety,
fair.
no one should ever get behind you. So as a safety, I would value security.
Okay,
As a
so-
corner, I would value aggression. That would be my thought process. I want a guy that's going to fight you.
You want a Trayvon Diggs.
I like a Porter because he's going to fight you. He'll take the penalty. He'll do what he's got to do sometimes. I would
but
take a
that
Porter.
That still hurts. I will take the Porter on because, like I said, I don't think Ryan heard it. Porter is the best overall corner if you eliminate at least even half of the penalties.
Right, and I think that's coachable.
I genuinely see supreme talent. And I was like, okay, he misses this. Oh, holding. Oh, pushing. What are you doing? Why are you so late?
And he doesn't have to a lot of time, too. He's right there. So
It's
that's why I think it's coaching. That's why I think it's coaching.
Is it you don't trust yourself?
Could be.
I mean, which is, I like Gonzalez, but I think.
Agree to what, Ryan? Because it's a slight delay. Do you agree to what I said about aggression and security? Or do you believe that Joey Porter could be the best cornerback in this draft?
Tight ends do big. I agree with Brent's, okay, but I do think that safeties cover the tight end more. Anyway, raw talent Porter.
Yeah.
Yes. I actually have that in my notes. He's raw. No, but I value
Porter.
I value aggression for corners. I value coverage in corners more than I do the run game. So, like, I don't expect Denzel Ward to step up and do that.
So you're
Now,
in the,
I don't expect
you're
him
in
to
the
be
same
the
place
first
as
dude
me.
there, but I expect him to fucking try, dude.
You're in the same place as me.
Yes.
So you value aggression on corners and security at safety.
Yes. If you're a safety, like that was my argument with Ronnie Harrison. He gave up big plays a lot. He lost games for the Browns.
But look at a Minka. Like Minka does both.
And
That's very hard
Minka
to find. That's hard to find.
Because Minka's he's next level.
He is a
elite.
different type
Minka
of
is
safety.
elite.
I don't like Forbes because he has no effort in the run game to the point of lackadaisical, and it's just belligerent poor. I can't do that. I can't have a guy like that on my team unless you're going to be like, listen, man, I know this is how your game is. If we're gonna have a safety over you, Minka. That's actually a really, really, really good because he's gonna step up. He's gonna see it.
Minka can do both.
Minka can help a piss poor run defense corner
He
like
did
Forbes.
all year.
Yes, and he has done since he's been in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So
Because they have had
that's a
suspect.
good-
They've had suspect corners the whole time.
Who else is Derwin James? If he went to the Chargers, Derwin James is fantastic. What?
He goes, Steve, you should like Forbes.
He saw that before. That's why I'm talking to him. Like, I like Forbes in his cover. I said that before. I said it 1,000 times.
So then you should like Forbes. That is what he's saying. You should rank him a little higher because you like the aggression in the corner.
Yes.
So you should rank him a little higher because your safety,
but
security.
he was so
blanket.
piss poor as a teammate, you fall, you drop out.
Okay, so you didn't like him because of off-field issues.
No. Yeah. I didn't like him because when it's on camera that you are so.
But when you say piss poor, it's just because he didn't make 2 tackles.
No.
That's how it comes off.
How many times do you need to see it though?
Well, he plays 13 games, 12 to 13 games a year, and he's
I will
played
go
for
through.
3
I
years.
swear to
at
God, I'll
least.
watch every game. And if
So-
this dude does it every single game, he's undraftable then.
Well, I don't think he's in the undraftable category because he will be drafted.
He
in
will.
the first 2 rounds.
But if you don't show that, you're not gonna. I mean, like it is what it is. Whatever. You gotta try. You have to show effort. You don't show effort, you don't play. You shouldn't.
I mean, it is what it is.
Well, whatever.
Well, we have our rankings, and we'll have that big board day, right?
Yep.
We'll show that on the big board before the draft.
All right. All right. We closing out?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Anybody got any closing thoughts? Wheeler?
Take a look at Miles Brooks. Kid's a stud, in my opinion. I like him a lot. 3rd, 4th round pick is what the show thinks. I think maybe a little bit higher, but I'd definitely, Ryan, take a look at him. Let me know what you think. I'd love the feedback.
All right. John?
Everyone enjoy your weekend. Before, at least in our area, the weather goes back down.
Is it going back down?
Yeah.
No, it's just Ohio. It always hits 30 degrees in like 3
No.
weeks out of every month.
But everyone enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Love it. KJ?
Hey guys, I hope you enjoy your weekend. Hopefully this was a great show for everybody. I hope we brought a little bit of entertainment today. That was kind of the excitement. I wanted to do something different today and think it'd be interesting and fun to just kind of go off the wall. Also, please like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your peeps, family, friends, anybody that you want to know that's getting into fantasy drafts, dynasty. Let us know what you want to talk about. Jimmy, I don't know if you're still in the chat or anything, but hey, man, send us out there to your family and friends if you're in any leagues, because we're trying to talk as much as we can about football, because this is what we want to do. We enjoy doing this as a hobby and want to do it more.
Yep.
That's what I got for you guys today, and I hope you guys really do enjoy your weekend.
All right. Thank you all for being here. If you're still here, we appreciate you. God bless you. God bless your families. Like, share, subscribe. Give us feedback. Get in the comments. Let us know how we did. If you hate it, you hate it. We'll make improvements. If you loved it, let us know. I want to know.
Yeah, we all want to look like that shirt.
Yes, we do. I don't want to be a clown. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Have a good weekend.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.